gentlemen, the winner of this contest.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense. But it makes
yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, it would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
No! Damn it! Yeah!
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. At Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. At Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show, y'all. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. That's Phil S. Marks to you plebs. And it is PWT Live Show. How is everybody doing? We did it. We made it through another week. We watched Raw on this last PWT member only Member Monday show, which was a blast. Round of applause. And it is Wednesday. I'm excited. We have a lot of dramas to get to. We have a lot of news to get to. We're going to do light news and just warm up, get our feet under us a little bit, get settled in, get cozied in. And as people file in, we're going to do some miscellaneous news. We're going to talk a bit about TNA. And then I got some topics here. We'll see what we all get into. Some particular things. So Hangman Page responded to his Marty Scurll image. Ricochet's been desperate for attention, and he's trashing WWE again. And we have AEW Dynamite on, which is stacked. AEW Dynamite is stacked. Robbie Fox from Barstool Sports trashed PWT, and or at least Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week. And yeah, we have all of that and more. Make sure you guys vote in the poll. YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips is where I'm live at right now. And on Patreon, of course, that's where the uncensored, unedited replays of these shows go. Also, I do want to plug this really quick, and you can expect more of this, a lot more of this, over on Patreon. I think we can share this tab. So if you guys look here, a Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week bonus episode, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. And Dave Meltzer has best friends. And these ones are like an hour long. They're not like 3 hours long. These ones are more like an hour. You know, sometimes they'll be 30 minutes. But this is a bonus episode of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. If you're a fan, check out Patreon, where between the years of 2015 and 2026, we chronicle and go over Dave Meltzer's various best friends, his own words, and what it makes him an expert in, how he finds and deems himself qualified in different areas of expertise because of who his fucking best friends are. And you'll be surprised to find out what number Tony Khan is.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
And when he started talking about Tony Khan. But yeah, let's get into some light news before we get into like the main stuff. Again, follow me at Pro Wrestle Times or at Phil Marks Out if you want to. I talk about like pop culture. I don't talk any wrestling on that other Twitter. It's my burner at Ron114851116. So yeah, chat, I hope you're all doing good. If you guys want to support the show directly, again, join Patreon or become a member for only 99 cents. I do bonus shows weekly on YouTube. And if you're on Patreon, you get access to the archives of everything. All the member shows go over there. And also, you can super chat in or gift a membership. So I really appreciate that. Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 for 2 says Ricochet CTE is acting up again. So we're going to get into all of that. And yeah, I have some thoughts on the Ricochet stuff, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. And you've been a member for 18 goddamn months. We, of course, acknowledge me. I'm really fucking cold right now. And Kevin Pierpont's been a member for 9 months. Acknowledge me. He could have had a baby in that time right there. Shout you out. Thank you so much for the membership. Shout out everyone in chat. I appreciate everybody who shows their support. And let's get into some of this stuff. Here. So ladies and germs, this is a segment I like to start the show off with as we watch Big Bang Theory a little bit and get prepared for the juicier stuff. This is called miscellaneous news here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
My kids are in their 20s, bro. Yeah, been there, done that, right? So let's get into this. So CJ Perry admits to spending 3 days in jail after smoking weed while driving. So yeah, stay sober there behind the wheels of a car there, kids. And I think she's on that TMZ show. Speaking of divas, I was going to say old divas. Speaking of these old broads, here's Saraya, tying up with people and getting her in ring footing back a little bit. Let's see if these clips load. Here we go. Was that Core Jade? No, I don't think so, actually. Yeah, with the... I mean, she's looking good, and it's like she's been doing it since she was 13, so...
Ready, sit. Seatbelt, tuck your head. Now 1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Great. That felt really great.
Cool.
I want to see it. Yeah.
I mean, she looks like she could still just go right now. Here's the thing, is WWE going to let her wrestle more than like a Rumble or something brief? They brought Brie Mode back. There's a possibility, and there's no other place. Like, she would have just stayed in AEW. Tone would have just kept re-signing her for a year. And not only did he not do that, but he let her out of that last year she was on early. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. Speaking of seeing what comes, cocaine powders the backside of the ring rat. We're checking in with JCW and Vince Russo now, and Kerry Morton ruins everything. So let's watch this segment from JCW Lunacy. And cocaine is going to, I think, do lines off of a girl's ass here.
Cocaine put the ladder aside here.
Well,
it's funny they booked
cocaine may not look it, but I guess he is only human, and he's liable to be distracted by the ring rat's assets.
So who's the ring rat? Isn't she? I thought she was like a different. Wasn't she like a chainsaw wielding? I know it all sounds goofy to people who don't watch it, but what was her name again? Like Black Dahlia or some shit was her name, and I guess she's the ring rat now, or maybe she's been the ring rat for a long time, but whatever's going on.
Wait a minute. Cocaine.
Oh, he's got the baggie again.
See, in NWA, it gets trashed.
He's got a vial, and I think the
and then he just hits the girl. It's just intergender beatdowns and shit. Oh my goodness. It works in JCW, but when they tried it in NWA, it's like, no, dude.
Cocaine was going to do something you normally only find behind a paywall, and Kerry Morton just kneed the ring rat right in the temple. He doesn't give a damn about anybody.
That behind a paywall, is that what people are doing? Is that what they call strippers now? Millennials or Gen Z or whatever? Paywalls? What is that? What they're doing? Drugs off asses in behind paywalls?
Cocaine puts.
I love it. I don't know. It's so out there and stupid, and it's just like a fucking indie juggalo type crowd that they're going for. So I say do that. They're not sitting there going, well, Vince Russo is kind of trashing these other promoters. So maybe actually he's not saying JCW is going to overtake WWE, but he's very, very critical of Triple H. And of course, he's just trying to drum up interest and get people talking about JCW. Can't fault him. He's a worker. Speaking of which, Vince Russo, let me tell you about my new GCW. I designed it myself. I almost can't today, guys. I designed this title myself. No, I got that Belts by Danmark to design this title for me, bro. Let me tell you, I hand to God, bro, hand to God. He hates Triple H just as much as I do. And Vince Russo debuts his new JCW title while taking shots at Punk and Triple H. And he's like, bro, let me tell you, I wouldn't have to wrestle with my shirt on. And, I mean, he wrestled with like a motorcycle helmet on, didn't he? Or did he wear like a fucking a bicyclist's helmet or something and a leather jacket while he wrestled? You didn't really wrestle much, Vinny Roo. Bro, I invented Juggalo Championship Wrestling, bro. And I think he went off a couple more times in recent history, which we've covered here, but all he's trying to do is get attention on WWE, or pardon me, from WWE fans on JCW and from AEW fans. Well, here's the thing. It's kind of funny and easy to make fun of Tone. You know, you got to reach a little harder to try and make fun of Triple H unless you just go with like he's a mark for himself angle, which there's for sure a bit of that, but there's also something they're trying to erase. The perception is Vince McMahon runs WWE, pal. They're working overtime to erase that is a big part of it. Plus, he's a guy who also has that entertainer bug. It doesn't offend me that much. It's the same, like Vince was on TV. Tone is on TV sometimes. Like when you're the booker promoter, you're going to have to do that. Now him being in the video game, I maintain that was all. You just have to, if you play the games, it's like the last few years, Triple H is a guy that you can kind of expand all of these things, all of this. Like the Nation fought DX and shit. The Rock just had the Bloodline edition. They added all this Nation shit. Nothing really came of it, you know? So they're going to reuse that stuff that they spent time making for the last game, because these games realistically should come out once every few years and just get like big patch updates. But maybe they'll do that now that they're ditching last gen consoles. But that's WWE 2K. That's another topic. Shout out my video game nerds. Shout out that one guy, his name's like 616 Entertainment, where he makes like he makes documentaries about like pro wrestling video games. He just did one on how AEW Fight Forever like had all the tools, had the opportunity to be something legendary and great, but it wasn't. Shout that guy out. But anyways, speaking of former WWE talent, Killer Kross, and this is a spoiler, it won't be available until I think this weekend, or maybe not even. I think on the 9th or something. MLW Battle Riot. So for some reason, it wasn't streaming this year. I don't know, something you got to ask Grok. Some deal got fucked up or so. I have no clue. I might just be making shit up, but MLW, for whatever reason, had to air it on a delay, even on their YouTube. So we got the results of Battle Riot, but I'm still going to check out the match itself. But Killer Kross is the MLW World Heavyweight Champion, and good for him. Honestly, this is a good fit for him if he's not going to do the TNA AEW route. And I like that he's a guy who didn't just jump at the AEW shit, and who knows if Tone even wants him. Tone's pretty vocal about people he wants, and like when Ariel brought up Kross, he just changed the subject real quick. So, moving along here. In other indie news and whatnot, New Japan has announced they will be releasing a documentary covering Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement from Wrestle Kingdom 20, airing free on both New Japan World and YouTube in February next month. And that should be cool. Check that out. Hopefully there's subtitles. Speaking of MLW, though, I believe in the Battle Riot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this was... So it's Carl Anderson. You're expecting Luke Gallows, but then he's doing the Festus gimmick. That's actually funny. How is that even the same dude? Gallows is bodied up compared to when he was Festus. So was he like hypnotized? So he turned back into the big LG Luke Gallows once they ring the bell? Was it like a hypnotized spot or something? I don't know.
There goes Ricky.
Oh, buddy botched getting over the ropes. Oh, and then Hammerstone tosses it. Spoilers. Yeah, and Hammerstone, I think, is signed with TNA, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Real good shit. Speaking of New Japan, we're kind of mixing up Nuge and MLW right now. Chase Owens says, I have re-signed with New Japan, or NJPW, see you soon, Japan. And this is Chase Owens, right? And isn't this guy, people think, are these guys beefing, or is this guy, I don't know. People are hating on him. This Puff the Wrestler, this is a shoot. He goes, this sucks. Your loser ass couldn't even get booked in America because everyone knows you're a sick fuck. Be thankful New Japan protects your creep ass from getting stomped out at any shows over here, because that's what's coming if we cross paths. So isn't he like a creep or something? I don't know. Chat will inform me on that. There's too many of these fucking weirdos. The Epstein files. Everyone's a fucking creep, dude. Not cool out there. Fucking really isn't cool out there, man. But yeah, fuck that dude if that's the case. But he re-signed with Nuge, so I guess they don't really, I don't know. They're not worried about that shit out there, I guess. Speaking of New Japan announced that Hiromu Takahashi will be leaving the company. His final appearance will be at New Beginning in Osaka on February 11. And again, it's a guy that Tony Khan doesn't seem like he's super high on Takahashi for whatever reason. Dave Meltzer doesn't either. And he was teaming with, I want to say, Tanahashi, or was he teaming with Naito? Yeah, Naito isn't in AEW either. And I don't even know if he's wrestling that much anymore, but Dave and them are like, yeah, it's expected he'll go to WWE and stuff. And it's like, okay, maybe WWE will take Takahashi, but there were things said. There are things floating around, okay? There are rumors in innuendo, I guess we'll call it, to steal a line from, I believe, Bruce Pritchard. Not fake! That WWE currently is planning, their Japan, like moving in on the Japan space like they have in Mexico. Now, whether that means it's through Noah, whether that means it's what your boy old Philly Phil said a couple years back, or a year and some back, like, hey, they might not say we're not working with AEW, but like we're going to also work with WWE. I think that would happen before like a partnership or anything. However, Tanahashi-san and Tone Loc are what's that from again? GTA or something like that? Or is that a rapper? That's a rapper, I think. Yeah. Cuervo. But Tone and Tanahashi-san are close, and we do know that. So maybe that doesn't.
He had that Cuervo with him the whole time too.
But I wouldn't just say Takahashi's going to be in the Fed. And like realistically, what would they do with him unless they're like, okay, Evil, Takahashi, we got Shinsuke, we got some guys, let's go like make a play on Japan. or something like they did in Mexico. That would be cool, but they kind of already are doing that with their affiliation, but they don't own anything out there. So do they just swoop in and buy some shit up? They just outright bought AAA. There's rumors of like WWE wanted fucking CMLL. And yeah, I would say there's a bit of smoke to that fire. At least like they were scouting it out. They were scouting everything out. They were scouting out the entire Mexico landscape. So, but for people to say like Takahashi, like Dave's kind of implying he's going to just go to WWE and shit. It's like, how do you know? Why do you know? Why do you not know when people are going to show up in AEW, but you know when people are going directly to WWE before their last match, even in fucking like Nuge and things like this. And even Conrad Thompson called this out. He's like, oh, come on now, Dave. That's not very fair.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
To fucking stooge where everyone's going before they show up places. But speaking of Noah, Marie Malenko, the daughter of Dean Malenko, made her Japan debut at Noah Monday Magic yesterday. And she's going to continue to work in Japan. And she's already got her next match set. Let's take a look. Okay. I like the Malenko trunks. Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Let's go. She looks like she knows what the fuck she's doing. That is for sure. In other pro wrestling news, America's Most Wanted reunited on Saturday to become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Yeah, I mean, are they doing this? They should do this in NWA. Just put these guys back together. I think people are here for it. I didn't know that Wildcat Chris Harris could still go, but he's just been making appearances here and there. And it's like, okay, I love it. I liked, it's hard for me because Beer Money and America's Most Wanted are like my two favorite. And James Storm was a part of both of those. But I think AMW, if I had to edge one out, AMW for me, because Bobby Roode was also good in like as a member of Team Canada. Like he ruled as that as well. So I don't know. I think AMW will edge that out for me. And James Storm, of course, being the foundation across both. Speaking of, we talked a little bit about ex-WWE talent. Ava got her Twitter account. I'm redacted. Ava got her Twitter account disabled and deactivated hours after anti-Ice tweet following WWE exit. So she put out a tweet saying like, and now that I can say this for real, fuck Ice or whatever. And I don't know if that got her shit banned. It's like, I thought Twitter's supposed to be like the free speech app type shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, like they ban people for saying less than that, and they are banning people for worse, and it's probably all AI. And so we know who Elon's, we know what Elon supports. I mean, it goes without saying. So, yeah, it's his fucking app. Didn't he like spurg out and make fucking Grok like make him look better in pictures or some shit like that? Or is that just internet gossip as well? I don't know. I don't keep up with all that bullshit as much as some do, but yeah, her account got disabled, and the rumors are she's going to go work for The Rock. No shit. She just worked. She's going to enter the family business. Oh, you mean like the one she was just in? For fucking oh, you mean like the one that The Rock is on the board of? And fucking the whole family, the whole bloodline is a whole thing. The last how many years? Yeah, no shit. And so in other indie type of news or names that are popping, Bozilla, okay? And people want her signed with WWE and AEW. And she wrote this long thing here. And she got hurt, I guess. So she says, honestly, it doesn't seem real. I'm deeply devastated and still struggling to find the right words. I wish this weren't true, but unfortunately, it's reality. On January 11, 26, I injured my knee right at the beginning of my match at Korakuen Hall. Despite extreme pain, I was able to finish the match, but toward the end of the match, my knee completely gave up. The diagnosis is a complete ACL tear, which will require surgery. So she wrestles in Stardom. She's well known in Japan. I know that people want her to appear in, or she may have appeared for AEW in some capacity, but people want her to show up in like NXT or AEW down the line, but she will be seated for a little while getting that ACL taken care of, unfortunately. Speaking of unfortunate injury, hospital news, legend Brian Knobbs hospitalized again amid an infection battle. So if there's a GoFundMe or something, I'm actually not sure, but I encourage you all to support that, and I hope he heals the fuck up. In other sort of sad news, but good news in a way, Cain Velasquez, former WWE superstar, I believe, did he wrestle in AEW once or just in Mexico? Yeah, he was in Mexico and then he went to WWE. And he, of course, is one of the UFC heavyweight greats. I think people overrate him a little bit, like Joe Rogan and fucking some of these dudes. I think overrate Cain. Like, he's a fucking beast. Don't get it wrong, but and he is one of the greats of all time. But he's just, again, he got injured early, and I just don't know. And like long injuries, long layoffs. And then like this situation happened where basically what happened, he went to jail because this daycare that I believe his niece or his daughter, actually, I think it was his daughter, went to, someone who worked there was registered, or is like the brother. Like, he didn't even work there technically, I guess, but he's a PDF file, man. And this guy was diddling kids, and he was free to fucking go, and Cain chased him down with a gun and shot at him. Right? Like, I think any sane person would want to do or imagine doing or would fucking do. I don't know. I don't know about you, but if you did some shit like that to my fucking kid, dude, that's crazy. So he got locked up, and he spent 312 days in prison and has a parole eligibility date of 26 this month. So he's a free goddamn man, free Cain. Thank God. And they fucking stole away a bunch of money that he could have made, as well, as far as being like a UFC competitor and stuff. So it's fucked up what happened to him and what didn't happen to the other guy. So moving along here, in other MMA adjacent news, Dana White's Zuffa Boxing is targeting a Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua super fight to be streamed live on Netflix this year. Netflix, for those of you who aren't homeless cats. And yeah, I am looking forward to this. But Anthony Joshua just got in a car wreck where like two of his closest people in his life fucking died, and he was injured in it. So I don't know if we should be rushing him back to the ring for Zuffa Boxing to put on a fucking super fight, even though they criticize all these other feds for just doing super fights and shit, and not taking care of the boxers below. And this whole push of like, yeah, we're going to do it the UFC model way. But meanwhile, this is just what boxing has always done. I don't know. I think it's funny and it's hypocritical, but whatever. I'm a fight fan. I'll watch it. So Linda McMahon, she had a school visit canceled after parent pushback in Connecticut. So she was scheduled to visit a fucking school, I suppose, and the parents kiboshed that, probably because of political situations. So moving along here, lastly, in miscellaneous news, there was a bunch there, guys. We have Haley Montoya, who, what the fuck was her name? I forget what her name was. Wrestling under Mustafa Ali, open for bookings, match signings. She left like the ID program or NXT or Evolve or whatever, and just reestablished herself as Pinky Montoya and is doing this like Pinky gimmick. Yeah, so she was on LFG. Hayes Jameson, that's it. She was on Team Bubba, season 2 of LFG. And here's like a look at her little new gimmick thing she's doing. Pinky Montoya, which I'm kind of into. It's not really Barbie. It's more, it's like an amalgamation of Barbie and like the Pink Ladies bookings and whatnot. So hit her up, indie promoters. And that, ladies and germs, was miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Chat, I'm struggling here to get this. Here we go. Maybe this is working. Because I'm trying to cast. I'm trying to like mirror, like cast from my phone here to my TV, and it typically just works seamlessly, but that is not. Now it works. Okay, here we go. You know what they say. So moving along here, guys, let's get into some TNA news, and then we're going to get into some good stuff, okay? We have the AEW section sort of split into two things. We're going to talk about Hangman and Ricochet right away. I know you guys want to hear about it, but we have to give TNA its due. You guys know that. Over 200 watching. On the Royal Rumble stream, we had like over 2,400 watching live all at once across X and YouTube. I appreciate that so much. You guys are goated. Hit like, hit subscribe. Check out patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. I uploaded a bonus episode of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. I chronicle the last decade of everyone he's called his best friend and what he then uses that friendship to then parlay into him being qualified as an expert in other fields. It is actually insane and hilarious. So Phil Marks book, Marks time, TNA news. I have it pulled up. Good, guys. So ladies and gentlemen, it is time for, let's get some aces and eights and banjos in the chat. It is time for TNA news. And yes, I'm ripping and roaring today. A lot to get to. Gotta get to. So Killer Kelly had this to say: my time with TNA has come to an end. And so I thought she would be showing up in AEW Toot Suite. And in other news, she has been backstage at Dynamites, but of course she's with Myron Reed, so that's going to happen. And I said maybe she's leaving too if Myron's out. And yeah, that appears to be the case. And I think AEW should scoop her up, but maybe it doesn't fit what she's doing in her life right now. But I think Tony Khan should scoop her up. What is he going to do with her? I'm not sure. I don't know what he does with anybody. I don't know. The last couple of shows have been more sort of sports entertainment-y. This Dynamite's pretty stacked as far as like, there's a couple few good I'm excited to see Andrade versus Omega. I'm excited to see MJF take on King. I like those guys. So, there's some good shit, and maybe if they do a bit more of what Dave Meltzer was glazing the sports entertainment-y storyline of everybody coming after MJF, if they continue that, then sure, they're headed in the right track. They popped a couple ratings, so I don't know, maybe Killer Kelly could help that. Who knows? Maybe they're too bloated, but her time with TNA has come to an end. And she wrote a big, long thing, and she said, I'm not done yet. You'll definitely see me on TV soon, so maybe that's a tease. But right now, she's available for bookings. So any company, I think, would be smart to scoop her up. Speaking of rascals and rascal adjacent, TNA has been in talks to bring Trey Miguel back. And, well, this already happened, and we covered this on the show. But Trey Miguel showed up. He got the Feast or Fired briefcase, and he was making jokes about, wouldn't it be funny if I got fucking fired. And he further addressed his return to TNA and the effect the AEW release had on him. And he said that he came very close to quitting. His heart was broken. He felt like wrestling hated him, to be quite honest. I hadn't felt or heard a loss like that in a very long time. I didn't answer calls or texts, and I spent a little over a week contemplating what's next. I felt like my dream died as quickly as it was realized, but it's in moments like this that God will show you how strong you actually are. But if it weren't for the support system that God has blessed me with, I don't know if I would have been able to turn that decision around. I'm not everyone's favorite wrestler. I don't strive to be. I strive to make a kid's dreams come true who had a very hard childhood and only ever wanted to be one thing, a pro wrestler. Words can't describe how eternally grateful I am for TNA Wrestling for saving this dream for me. And to the ones who encouraged me to stick it out, I will forever be in debt to you. If you support me through this, I love you. If you didn't, I still love you. There's no room in my heart for hate. Now, with that being said, I have to show the world what I'm made of, and just thankful to still have that opportunity. He gets a shot at the international title, and he's a part of these growing ratings for TNA, and we're going to talk about those in a minute. And again, like the headlines and the YouTubers, all the videos are Collision, crush TNA and shit. That's the right narrative. They would have just got bullied if the comparison was Dynamite to Impact. Impact would have got fucking slapped around and bullied, man. But they have got a couple W's over Collision. Like, that's the narrative that was put out there. That's the correct narrative too. So I'm very pleased with that. We talked about the Feast or Fired, and Steve Macklin got a fired case, and he got fired. He's like, my time is up. It could be a work though. Like, they could have leaned into, we're going to let this guy go. But then the rumors and the dirt sheets came out, and the innuendo came flying out of nowhere off the top rope saying that Macklin because we just covered how he re-signed with the company, but they're like, it was a very short-term thing. So who fucking knows? It seems like they're doing more longer term, like 6 months to a year, as opposed to like 3 months or 60 days or 90 days, that sort of shit, which I get it. 90 days is 3 months, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like what we've been hearing about TNA is they're doing more like 6 months to a year, but Macklin, maybe he did sign. I don't fucking know, but if it's a work, awesome. That's brilliant. Maybe he comes back as Hometown Man's tag partner, and they're like the Hometown Boys or something. That could be funny. If Macklin's ready to transition to being like sort of a jobber type guy. Speaking of comings and goings, Ash by Elegance returned, and after Indy picked up the win on TNA, and this is going back a couple weeks, I believe, Ash pretended like she was upset, and then she actually just returned to pro wrestling. Like, Ash by Elegance is just here in TNA after vacating the title, and I wonder what came up that made her think she had to stop wrestling, and then what changed so quickly to where all of a sudden she's able to just wrestle it. I have no clue, but I'm glad she's not like fucking suffering from some serious stuff that she can't rebound from. And she came back, and I think she'll help elevate the AMC brand and all of that. But she got into it with former TNA knockouts, Taryn Terrell and Brooke Tessmacher, who were not pleased with how Ash vacated the title due to an undisclosed medical reason, only to come back so soon. Maybe they're working a situation where Ash by Elegance will take on these legends at one of these pay-per-views, do a little Bella Twins versus Rio action, who knows, in TNA. But Taryn Terrell says, I always support the knockouts, but as someone whose career was cut short, I have lost all respect for Ash by tackiness. Like, that seems too much of a shoot. But maybe TNA's like, we're on TV now, we're going to heat it up. We're going to fake a real fight between these guys. We're going to fake a real firing. Deonna Purrazzo will put out a thing. We'll send Macklin home. Like, we're going to heat it up with some like shoots action. That could totally be it. Like, why is all this going down now that they got this AMC deal and all this stuff? Like, it's the perfect time if you're going to try and drum up headlines for work shoot stuff. But Ash by tackiness. As a former KO champ, I am so proud of the KO's work and will be forever cheering y'all on. Well, everyone except for the trash. And then Brooke Adams says, preach, baby girl, preach. We need to take the trash out. So they're clearly working an angle, I think. But female locker room, yeah, they just posted about it, but we got responses. So Taryn Terrell said what she said, and then Ash by Elegance responds and says, I'm sorry, who are you? Oh yeah, your career was short too, but irrelevant. While you sit on the sidelines, watch me shine. Sorry, not sorry, irrelevant. And then Ash says, haters gonna hate. Get on my level, sweetie. I forgot A year ago, you were kissing my ash with praise. Now you're jumping on the bandwagon. So, like, what's going on? Is there a bandwagon hating on her for having a medical emergency or whatever the fuck came up? I have no idea. But here's a picture of them together. And Ash by Elegance says, haters are your biggest fan and first to get a picture with you. Oh, and Taryn Terrell, remember we did that signing together and you were praising me on all my accomplishments? Hard work pays off, baby. I don't know, man. Maybe they're building to like a tag match or like a one-on-one match. I have no clue, but that seems like really personal, that they're getting really personal and real about it. So here's the response video from Brooke Adams here.
Oh my. I love it. You know, it's really a funny thing when
The funniest shit is acting like you're doing your lip gloss and shit when the lip gloss is already on perfectly, and then you were turning the camera on and then had to quickly go, oh, I'm just doing my thing, doing my lip gloss. My lip gloss be cool. My lip gloss be popping.
and hard work, you know, is only shown on camera. And a photo together, yeah, that doesn't really equal respect. We all smile for the cameras, and you know, always remember, or I always will, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Oh my.
So you were being a fake bitch at the fucking thing? You just you just admitted that shit? Okay. I don't know, man. Hopefully they work this into an angle. Do some business.
Sometimes in life, you gotta
That's
be a
what
hoe.
people want to see. Don't just leave this on the table. So speaking of Ash by Elegance, she reveals that she received death notifications, death note, after vacating TNA Knockouts title. So again, perhaps this could have gone in the sicko segment, but it's like, and I don't know if that did happen, but why? She had like a fucking health scare and then vacated a pro wrestling title. It's like actually cooked. So here's what she told Denise Salcedo about this. Shout out Denise Salcedo.
I hear that you have some breaking news for us that you wanted to share here on the channel.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, there's been so many amazing things that have happened in the last couple of weeks with TNA jumping with AMC. I got some amazing news from, you know, my medical team and the doctors that I am medically cleared. And what I'm very excited to announce on here is that I have re-signed with TNA.
I hear that you have some.
So yeah, she re-signed with TNA. So who knows, like, and let me, can I do, because this is what we do here, and I'm just fantasy mark booking, and this is all just comedy, and I don't know, I'm just speculating. I don't know shit. I'm a dumb mark who just talks shit on the internet, right? I don't know anything. And I'm not even implying anything by that. I'm genuinely just, this is a pure, full-blown conspiracy theory. And again, I applaud this if this is what happened, but maybe, no, I don't even want to. Here's the thing. There's a fucking TV deal. So she got out of her last contract because of like a health scare thing, right? And then now there's a TV deal. People are renegotiating. Isn't that kind of, she just shows back up when AMC's on the air? I'm not accusing her of faking shit or anything like that, but it's awfully convenient how that worked out as well. And it's nobody's business. And I'm not saying for a second that she didn't have a fucking health scare, but how long did she know? Like, how does it just, I don't know. I don't know how something just comes up like that. Then it's just not something to worry about like that. You got to renegotiate. All I'll say is shout her out. And is that why people were giving her the deletion notifications. I hate the watering down of language we have to do in society, but you guys know, I'll just say it, fucking death threat she's getting. Is that it? Maybe were people accusing her of something like that? Because I saw theories flying around, Austin theories, I've seen theories floating around like she just made it up or she was pregnant and all this shit. It's like, I don't know. Maybe Lex has some insight.
I don't
Lex,
know.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm just throwing that out there. Like, Ash by Elegance, come on down, getting the AMC bag. You know, good for her, I guess. So here we go. Someone in chat saying she just got cleared or something. So yeah, that's good. On the topic of the Trey Miguel stuff, Triple H's thought says it's been a profitable week for Trey Miguel. Tony fired him 5 minutes after signing him, so we got a fat NDA payout. Facts. To keep quiet about the details and then sign back with TNA. That'll sure help your mental health. And I posted this. I heard allegedly, and I talked about this on the show, but this is an allegedly. Someone told me. And if it's not true, then it's not fucking true. I'm not a dirt sheet, but Trey Miguel has been or will be paid the entirety of the amount promised in his AEW deal too. If this is wrong, I'm not a dirt sheet and don't give a fuck, but it wouldn't be the first time I was right about some shit like this either. And again, I think I've been pretty spot on with some of these fucking contracts and shit. I don't know if the Edge thing turns out to be true. I mean, come on, Phil Stradamus over here. But speaking of people possibly exploiting the system, an ex-TNA employee accuses company of exploiting indie wrestlers for free labor, like a high school student at a AEW show in Philadelphia. We have Amir, who is on the Cafe de Rene podcast, and he had this to say. And he claims that rather than compensating extras like most major promotions, TNA lures local talent with empty promises and then forces them to perform grunt work for free. Set up the ring, pal. We'll pay you in exposure. I don't mean to laugh, but according to Amir, he says that TNA don't pay extras at all. And they allegedly lure them in with a promise that over 50% of those who work will eventually get signed. So they send a statement to local talent, blah, blah, blah. These indie pro wrestlers go there and work 14 hours a day. They make them do things like serve other wrestlers food. Yes, in the canteen. I witnessed it. Pick up trash, clean blood off the ring. Of course, they set up the ring and everything else. At the end of the day, they do they get a dark match? Maybe 1 in 50. That's it. Free labor. This is how they treat people, and I have firsthand account of this. So anybody who questions this, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm not fabricating this story, and Renee knows this. That's the type of company they are. Well, how long ago did this go down? And yeah, that's bullshit. If they're like, we might book you, come here and volunteer for us, and then if we need a body, we'll use you. I mean, you got to make that choice, brother. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to network while you're there and do your best to fucking... That's all you can hope for. You don't have to be there either. And it's not like they're saying we'll blackball you from the industry if you don't do this grunt work, or if you show up here willingly and then we put you to work and then we'll blackball you. If those indications or implications come out, then maybe. But yeah, that's the first I think anybody's really said anything like that, unless there's other stories I'm unaware of. Moving along here in TNA news before we get to ratings. In the show itself, well, we'll talk about this, I guess. Mara Sade has a big announcement. So she's making her acting debut, Paper Maid. And again, you guys see the Black Power Rangers in this. Mara Sade's in this. You have Daria Ray, Sonya Deville in this flick. And among the cast, Miles Truitt, right? Tamac, I'm not sure. Walter E. Jones is his name, right? The Power Ranger. And he would do those like hip hop dance instructional tapes and shit. And yeah, she's in this movie. Sonya Deville's in this movie. So shout them out. And yeah, hopefully it does some work. It'll be some streaming shit, I'm sure, which is totally fine. And on the show itself, something that's been going down is the system. Or maybe they've been going upwards. So the system, of course, JDC retires, and then they turned heel on him. Eddie Edwards low-blowed him and kicked him out of the group. Well, he's retired. And then they also kicked Moose out of the group. And who joined them was Bear Bronson and Cedric Alexander, which I think is two great people to replace JDC and then take them heel again. I've been saying it as well. Like, the system works better as a heel group, you know? So they turned on JDC here.
What the hell?
Johnny Curtis. And then Bear Bronson, like, they're surrounding him with these vets. And I know Alba's like, I said on my Patreon a long time ago, I said that, or like I've been saying recently on my Patreon that Bear Bronson could be some. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I've been putting the fucking bear dudes over for a long time, and I've been doing it on Twitter and YouTube for free. For free. And so it's all good. But yeah, Bear Bronson definitely, like, they see it, and I've been fucking, I hate to say I told you so, but that's the thing with PWT here. It happens more than it does. I was fucking off on Actually, no, I think I was right on Jericho, because I'm going to tell you guys something. I laid out why I was doubtful of the Rumble, and I was the whole time kind of going into it. But we'll talk about Jericho in a minute. There's like 100 and some in chat. We need 100 likes on the video here, YouTubers. But again, man, Bear Bronson getting that run, getting that push, getting that rub from the legends, attacking Moose. Cedric Alexander is with him. You know, this Bear dude, you want to fucking elevate him. You know what I'm saying? He's got the sauce. And he's got a look where, you know, you can build this guy up, and it's better than what he was doing in AEW. And he's got the right veterans around him and whatnot. And he's a veteran of the game too. And then Cedric Alexander, I think that's the right move, joining the system. You know, it fits him, and it's a new look for him. He's in a heel group, and he can kind of shake it up. He's not just the guy having bangers. And he can shake it up and maybe show some of the side that we got to see when he was in Hurt Syndicate a little bit, you know? So TNA, they announced that every month they'll be dropping a collection of TNA highlights for content creators to use as a part of their own videos. Check out the January 2026 TNA Creative Commons collection. So let's head over here, or we don't even have to head anywhere. Head there, I barely know there. Oh, so I don't know if we're just allowed to play this 30-minute whatever. But yeah, here is shit we're allowed to use, I guess, clips that we're allowed to use now as creators.
Under a Creative Commons license. You can cut them up, you can remix them, you can react to them. It's all fair game. All you got to do is just tag TNA Wrestling and give us clip credit when you post. And hey, we might even repost your content. So new clips every month start.
This is the move. How the fuck is TNA ahead of the fucking curve on WWE and AEW like that? You have to make shit. You have to let people clip and react to it. And here's the thing, too. When people get flagged for WWE content, if you really challenged them and took it to court and you do it like the way I do it on my show, you would win. Like, who are these podcasts beat Netflix and shit like that? Like, you would win. It is transformative enough. It's just a matter of, like, do you want to go to court with WWE and drag this shit out? You don't, like, most people don't want to do that. Fuck it. I'll just clip it out, like, for YouTube purposes. But it's awesome that TNA's going, here's the content that if we pick it up, if our shit detects it, you guys are free to clip it up, flip it up, react to it. This is the shit we want to get out there. And then people will be encouraged to do it more. And then it will in turn promote what's going on TNA. And they're not backing down from people who might roast shit. And that's the fucking way to go. So here's 30 minutes of stuff. The Hardys, Dudley's, maybe there's throwback clips in here. Maybe it's just to get their current stuff over, but these are like a 30 minutes worth of shit that we can use, and channels won't get flagged, and we can keep our shit monetized, or you won't get DMCA hit on fucking Twitter or whatever. So, like, shout out TNA, man. That honestly rules. Shuley keeps getting strikes. Yeah, but isn't that from like Stuttering John? I mean, what the fuck do you what do you think's gonna happen? He's a fucking retard. He's gonna start falsely striking people. It's bullshit. But yeah. Moving along here. So let's talk about ratings and what TNA has been doing the last couple of weeks here, what these shows have been doing. Also, just quickly, Eddie Edwards says they dropped Moose because he was a selfish prick, and JDC because he just wanted to ride their coattails till the end of his pathetic career. I think that Edwards is a way better heel, and I think that Bronson's going to fit in well. Cedric, I just glazed it. You guys already know. But Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards, walks away from the system. Maybe she'll go on a bit of a singles run again. I don't know. I like her just sticking by Eddie's side personally, is what it is. But TNA's been cooking here. So Impact held up in its second week on AMC with only a minor dip in viewership. So I think people expected a larger dip. And that's what she said. Oh, go. Impact averaged 171K viewers, down 1%. So it's virtually identical. Thank you, Mike Goldberg. With a 0.03, 18 to 49, down 25% in the key demo, though. What the fuck? That's pretty crazy. Week to week, down 25%. But also, when the numbers are smaller than the decrease, whatever, that's some Meltzer shit I'm about to say, but like when the number is smaller, when it's a smaller sample pool, if 3 people fall off, you have 10 people, right? 3 fall off, then that will equal a bigger percentage than like, hey, you had 20 people and 3 fell off or whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. IR math, right? But it's not that great to begin with. A 0.03 in the quote unquote key demo. Is that really the key demo? If there's another demo doing a higher number than that for TNA, I think focus on just keep doing what you're doing, because as we'll see, they get a bit of an increase and they're hanging in there with the likes of Collision and whatnot. So yeah, that was there on this show as well. They had Santana, Trey Miguel return. They had the new system. They had fucking Ash by Elegance sort of reform in a way. Ash rejoined the Elegance brand. So Mike Gilbert posts, US TV DB is reporting the TNA Impact viewership from the January 15 AMC debut episode is 279K and a 0.04 rating. Before anyone asks, no fucking clue. So people have it at a higher number on the US TV DB. They have it at a higher number, the Impact debut show, not the last week's one or whatever. So who knows why that is? I'm sure someone corrected that. But TNA Impact, the week after that, tied its 18 to 49 rating that it garnered for its premiere. So this was last week. Time Cop scoring a 0.04 for last Thursday's episode, up 33%. Total viewership for the episode's not available yet. I think it became available, but again, what is TNA showing? That they are kind of increasing, like they're doing well in the ratings as far as maintaining or doing better than they did the week before. If you want to play the key demo game, then there you go. Dave would be plus 33%. If it was Dynamite, he'd be coming in his pants, and he'd be Randy Marsh when the fucking world ran out of internet. And good for them. That's awesome. Now, over time, and I've said this from the beginning, over time, TNA will slowly grow and fit into a position of possibly being at 400K viewers, maybe a little less, maybe 300K viewers, but I could see them growing over the next couple years. And if they keep just doing solid shows, the fucking debut was a misstep. Every other Impact has been banging since. And even this BDE kid, I know I shit on him a lot, but And maybe it's because he's in there with fucking Nemeth, but he did really well in his match with Nemeth, okay? You can't deny that. And he's a good, like, they're using him well. He's at the forefront of that video going, here's this January's collection for this week. He's a content creator. So he's on there going, hey, guys, hey, my fellow streamers. Like, they're booking him the right way. So I'm here for it, Eric. Moving along, Switchblade had this to say, and Mike Gilbert deleted that post. So I don't know if it was the last post, but Switchblade says it's all correct and is all on Programming Insider. Impacted 0.14, which equals 179K homes. Week 1, 0.12, 54K homes. Week 2, 0.10, 128K homes. Week 3, 0.14, 179K homes. So week 1, they're doing better in week 3 than week 1. So it's a W. Okay. Week 2 was a little dip, but shit happens. It will likely end up doing between 200K and 240K in P2 plus. So Gilbert says 0.14 home rating. However you say that is correct, but did not see the number of homes on Programming Insider, but it looks like you just did the math based on previous weeks. So I'll delete, brother. My bad. I do agree that the total number will be around 200K. So again, we're talking about their increases. And then look at this. Impact on AMC scored its best audience courtesy of Raj Giri, and this is 21 hours ago, 21. Scored its best audience and tied its highest 18 to 49 demo rating to date for last Thursday's episode. Impact averaged 201K viewers, up 18% from the prior week, with a 0.04 18 to 49 rating, up 33% per PW Torch. Right? As noted, the audience was the best of the 3 episodes so far. The 18 to 49 demo rating was tied with the premiere as the highest so far. So when they put on good shows and people are interested and they go, who's getting Feast or Fired? And, oh shit, who's gonna? Fucking Trey Miguel showed up, just won the Feast or Fired. That's crazy. When they do shows like this, the viewership increases. And now that they're getting their footing, and I don't know, I'm not going to pull a Dave Meltzer and after 3 weeks go, look, everyone just jumped to Max Bryan. But are there people maybe on AMC going, oh, fuck, yeah, I'll tune into this now. It's on fucking AMC. I didn't even really watch wrestling. I'll check out this TNA. I watch fucking, what's that show called? What was that show they were promoting? Where they're showing the dudes in the front row at the premiere. What was that? Black Winds or Whisper in the Winds or something. I always botch these fucking names of shows and shit. It takes me 4 or 5 tries. But yeah, dude, a 0.04. They matched their key demo from the premiere, and 201. That's their best rating so far. TNA crushing it. And then the narrative, because Collision popped a rating, is Collision crushed Impact. Can't wait till they go head to head. Wait until the first Thursday versus Thursday TNA Impact versus Collision. I fucking can't
Well, the
wait.
young superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So,
and that's the right way to go, because they're not going to start beating Dynamite and shit, but they can get there. And if the narrative is, oh, they're kicking Collision's ass like it was for a couple weeks, and then now it's Collision crushing Impact, awesome. That's what it should be. And then Raw and SmackDown in a league of its own. Dave realizes this as well. So Dave Meltzer realizes this as well, and that's why he's starting to lie and go, well, Dynamite's beating SmackDown and Raw if you really think about it. That's why he's fucking doing that. I hit the wrong fucking sound twice. Sorry, guys. Because he understands what reality is, and it's AEW versus TNA versus NXT, but he's just grasping at behind the times. And then he's going to come out with a clip that we're going to end up covering on DMW. And he's going to be like, oh, well, actually, if you look at it, Brian, they're more closely aligned with TNA as far as ratings are concerned. That's what he's going to start doing. And he's going to start talking about how NXT is closelier aligned with TNA as well, to try and bury it, to try and undermine it while ignoring Collision's stuff, because in his mind, Collision is getting the 500,000 invisible people on Max. And it's funny how with Collision, that's not even a conversation. And when people go, it's a dead show, he doesn't really push back, because what does he want everyone to believe? That there's fucking 500,000 people watching Collision as well on
best
Max?
guys,
Like, that
Tony
doesn't
Khan.
even make sense. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA news. And before we end that segment, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, a bonus episode of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week, where he has a bunch of best friends, and I go through between the years a decade worth of Dave and his best friends, and it's about an hour long there, and I chronicle Dave's best friend. Shout out Meltzer Said What for the thread, by the way. And I take a look at each of his best friends and what he believes, how he knows them, and how it qualifies him as being an expert in some field that he doesn't know a goddamn thing about. That's patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA news. So moving along here, guys, we have to get into some stuffs, okay? And let me see here. We have to get into some stuffs. And when it comes to what do we do first here? Yeah, we were talking about Dave, so let's do fucking we're gonna do Robbie Fox and Barstool versus PWT is what we're gonna do next, I think. Okay. God, I've got such good shit in the sicko segment. So many fools are back. We're gonna cover most of it another time, but we're gonna go over a couple things here in this sicko segment. One of which is Robbie Fox going at PWT. And so let me get some water here, guys. What's chat saying? Yes, Dave is. If it's an inaccurate date, it's inaccurate of all. No, okay. Keys going to SD. SmackDown. Yeah, that's apparently in the news. Frightful has confirmed Dave Meltzer's on the Epstein list. 1 million on Max Bryan. Nielsen ratings are butt cheeks. I noticed they tried so hard to favor AEW and was literally caught trying to make WWE look really bad. I don't know about that. I think that overall just wrestling took a hit on Nielsen. With the new big plus panel, whatever, and they're rolling out some new shit too. Who gives a fuck? Just look at the numbers people put out, react to them that way. Because the numbers can't favor AEW. Like it does, or the numbers favoring AEW doesn't help them in any way, because they are where they're at and they do the attendances they do. So it's just like, it doesn't really matter. It's like a dumb thing that people just argue about, because that was the sicko talking point, is how they were crushing NXT. And then now that the ratings stink for them, they have to live with that. And it just, if they do I don't care that Collision popped a decent number. Let's see them put some good shows together. If they don't do that, like starting with this match, I don't think is the way to put a good Dynamite on. I'm sorry. And they just had people talking at the camera, like Collision, like they were doing on those CM Punk Collisions, because Tone has like 4 ideas. And yes, MJF does some backstage shit. I know it was good last week. Now, what's the follow-up? The sequel's always harder, so let's see. What's the follow-up? Anyways, let's get into ladies and germs. It is time for, we were talking about Dave Meltzer, so we might as well get into this. It is time for an early sicko segment. And this week, basically what happened was Robbie Fox from Barstool got mad at me because I kind of went hard, but I just got traction on this tweet, and really it wasn't directed at him, but it's directed at just people in general, right? So Robbie Fox had this to say about when Dave Meltzer trashed Billy Gunn. Robbie Fox says, I defend Meltzer more than most, but what are we even talking about here? Billy Gunn was never top 200 in the world. We counting technical wrestling ability and throwing literally everything else that makes a good wrestler out the window? No shade to Kyle Fletcher, who rules. And you know what? Robbie Fox, for those of you not familiar, he does like a podcast for Barstool Sports called My Mom's Basement. And, you know, I've watched them here or there. Like his interview with Dana is a nothing burger, though. Like he doesn't, when he interviews people, it's just your surface level. He wrestles wrestlers here and there, but of course, only if it's like a name. And then, you know, he gets interviews with Dana White because he does his thing with Barstool and all that shit. So it is what it is. It's nothing like overly compelling, but I don't mind the kid. Like he does an okay pod or whatever, but I wasn't even really hating on him. It was just in general. I wrote, defending Dave Meltzer in 26 is an automatic L. He's had infinitely worse takes and lies the last 2 years, especially. Stop pretending this guy's done anything other than write things down before the internet came to fruition. He's a con artist. And then this dude went on the channel and plugged it. So thank God he did that. And I don't know how this is an own on me. So like Robbie Fox had this to say, man, there has to be a better use of your time than this. Don't make me continue to defend Meltzer today. This is insanity. And it's really not. I do a 3-hour show. So first off, like, it's crazy because Opie and Anthony Jocktober people and spend 4 hours a day making fun of shitty radio stations. And it's the #1 radio show in the fucking world and everybody loves it. Who are these podcasts? They A-log fucking Stuttering John for hours a day. There's a show, Jim and Them, and fucking Corey Feldman's their lol cow. Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder on the Bonfire used to fucking A-log Corey Feldman as well. Kino Casino will do 8 hours ripping the quartering apart, which is the funniest shit. And then what you do is you clip it and then you upload it. So I do a 3-hour show on Dave weekly or bi-weekly. And then I make 2 to 5 clips out of it, depending. And then I upload those clips. We're on episode like 16 or 17 now. And it's not like, it's not this big deal. Dave is the most prolific voice in pro wrestling. Okay. So I cover that. I cover everybody, like as far as the media is concerned. I shouldn't have left that there. Prolific voice in pro wrestling. Prolific voice in pro wrestling as far as aggregating the information. I've said it a million times. When you Google shit, Dave comes up. If you Google like what happened on this Raw, Dave's shit comes up. The star rating, the attendance, it's Dave. So yes, weekly or bi-weekly, I do a show where I make fun of his fucking ass. It's not like I just sit there and make 800 videos about Dave every fucking day. It's like, fucking, you should try it, Robbie. Like, what are you doing? You know, that wrestling show on Barstool and the fucking My Mom's Basement, they are not like riveting stuff. Okay, that wrestling show on Barstool was canceled, dude, because you guys don't really know what people are looking for in the wrestling sphere. I do drama comedy streams. It's not that crazy. And Dave Meltzer's my Stuttering John. It's that simple. I'm farming lulls from lol cows or from a lol cow. And people can be mad or jealous or whatever the fuck. Marie Shadows quote tweeted this dude and was like shitting on me and the PWT universe, calling it slop and all this shit. And it's like, well, fuck you. I defended you and Dave and the Wrestling Observer message board, motherfucker, when he was talking shit about you on your message board, having fucking, you know, so whatever. That's a whole other thing. I'm not gonna trash her, but have fun making Rumble videos defending Marty Scurll. Okay, I'm not fucking. That's crazy. I had her back when Dave was fucking, and then you're gonna say this is slop. No, it's just, it's fun. It's funny. Welcome to the internet. I don't know why I'm not allowed to, because no one's done it in pro wrestling before. A-logging Redux, all of a sudden your boy Phil is somehow, it's so fucking stupid. I cover every aspect of wrestling as well. So this is where him spurging out and then looking up my channel and filming and then scrolling through. This is what Sap does. And not that I care, though, but he literally went on the channel and scrolled through. And I don't care that, like, he promoted the channel. Like, people might go, oh, shit, those thumbnails are clean. Let's see what this guy's saying. And I don't care, man. Like, if people don't like it or are jealous or envious that I do the show or they think it's stupid and pointless, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. But to pretend it's like an own when I cover literally all of guys, I upload clips knowing that they're going to get like 300 views about WWE or indie stuff, and I still do it. Go look at my channel, okay? And I still do it. Now, when it's something that's topical, everyone's talking about, that's WWE, yeah, those videos do a little better. But I know sometimes I do these indie fucking or miscellaneous news and I'm putting Hulk Hogan and Vince on the thumbnails and shit, and those don't get any views, and I still do it. Okay, so it's just the wide variety of things I cover. Yes, I have a show once a week and sometimes bi-weekly. I don't even do it every week, where I roast Dave Meltzer. Yes, that's true. Like, who gives a fuck? So anyways, though, he was like, yeah, don't make me continue to defend Meltzer, which he didn't do. I challenged him to, and he didn't fucking continue to defend Dave. Because I respond to this, right? And I go, what do I say? Yeah, I do a show where I A-log him. Welcome to YouTube in 26. That's like pulling up Dave's YouTube channel or the Observer newsletter and saying, look, he talks about WWE a lot. No shit. Thanks for checking out the channel, though. Right? And then Buddy responded to this, I think, as well. Oh, yeah, so I bookmarked this here. I think he responded to that. Yeah, let's scroll down here and look at the replies, because there was a few like where he was talking past me, like to other people, and it's like, no, Robbie, pay attention. I'm over here now. Pay attention, bud. So what did he say? Imagine you're out in the real world and somebody asks you what you like to make content about. One person says WWE and another person says I A-log a wrestling journalist to hold him accountable for his takes. But no, it's not to hold him accountable. Like, I don't get what people don't understand. The show is, I want him to lie and make mistakes and fucking laugh and trash people and bury people. So here's what's so funny, Robbie. You were calling out Dave for trashing Billy Gunn. So I call him out for doing that times 10 because I'm super involved in the pro wrestling space, unlike you, right? You're a surface level guy. You interview like MMA fighters and shit too. I don't do a show about MMA. You know what I mean? So, and also that's like a gaslighting. It's just disingenuous. It's like, that's not what I do. That's not all I do. I make pro wrestling content, right? I also do a bunch of shit, not on YouTube. That's real world, quote unquote stuff. I like to hike. I like long walks by the beach. I like an occasional IPA. No, but listen, it's not just I A-log a wrestling journalist. Yes, that's one show I do, right? So I also do a movie review pod that I do sometimes once a month or every 2 months. That's just one thing I do. What are you going to make fun? Oh, you go out in the real world, I review movies. No, it's just I make pro wrestling content, retard. It's not that fucking hard to understand. I also make videos about WWE and New Japan and fucking AEW, and I make videos about fucking all sort TNA and all sorts of things. So it's not just that. And Dave doesn't just talk about WWE either. What he does is he is completely biased towards one company as opposed to another, which is fine. And I want him to keep fucking up. Like, people don't get it. Who are these podcasts don't want Stuttering John to stop being Stuttering John? I want Dave to keep being Dave forever. Okay? It's funny as fuck. I don't want it to change. It's hilarious. So much so that I have bonus episodes on my fucking Patreon where we do throwback topical Dave stuff even, because it's fucking funny. Okay? There's all types of shows out there like this. I just do it in wrestling and somehow, oh, that's a loser behavior. As opposed to what? You think you're fucking witty and cool? Your show's called My Mom's Basement because you're a skinny fucking geek, dude, who looks like he doesn't get sunlight, okay? So that's what your show's called. You're leaning into being a fucking, I'm a loser who's into my nerdy stuff, but then you're going, oh, what a fucking loser. You talk about everything wrestling? Yes, that's what I do. So does Dave. What's the difference? I just make fun of him. Like, what the fuck? Make fun of me if you don't like what the fuck I'm saying. So, yeah, and then like I respond to this because like that irks me. And it's like, I know you don't care about, or no, this is what he said. He's certainly not interesting enough to dedicate that much of your own time to. Imagine what could have been made. Bro, he has 50 years. Dave Meltzer has 50 years of history to unpack here, Eric. There's a lot to unpack in the 50 years that Dave Meltzer's been doing this. Eric, Robbie Fox, dude, he's got 50 years of bullshit and spurgery and the way he talks to people on social media. He's a toxic person that we make fun of, okay? It's that simple. Jim and them, the bonfire with Big J Okerson, they make fun of Corey Feldman because he's a toxic person who's funny to make fun of. And if you're like, how is Corey Feldman a toxic person? Just look into it, bro. There's a million videos. It's hilarious. People make fun of Brendan Schaub and shit, and they get more views than Brendan Schaub's shit because he's been a toxic person. It's just it's just a thing people do. And then you spin it and you make fun of it and you laugh and it's a fun time. Right? I don't know what to tell you, man. And especially when people are assholes to people, then it's more validated. And that's what Dave is. He directly affects people. So it's okay that you point out and trash Dave or call out Dave for shitting on Billy Gunn. But just because that went viral, Robbie Fox, and you don't pay attention to everyone else he fucking trashes like I do, doesn't mean I'm not valid in what I do, and doesn't mean it doesn't make sense or it's not interesting or funny. Your show is surface level, trite garbage. You had Dana White on your fucking show recently. You could barely get 50 minutes out of the guy, and he handed you the phone and you were talking with a fucking bassist of Rage Against the Machine or some shit about AI music and how much he loves it. It's not fucking, you know what I mean? It's not rocket science what you're doing over there. And I quote tweeted this and I was like, I know you don't care about pro wrestling unless it's a big name get and a surface level boring as shit interview handed to you. But I promise my pro wrestling drama streams are 1,000 times funnier and more creative than whatever you're doing, bro. And I get it. He plays music and shit. I'm not fucking talking about that. We're talking about our shows. If you gave me Barstool's resources, platform, and fucking like access to guests and shit, I'd crush you. I'd fucking smoke you and that wrestling show. A lot of people would, not just me, by the way. A lot of folks. Okay? The only lane that hasn't been tackled in pro wrestling is someone who really goes out there, and this is free game. Let your boy Phil drop some free game on you guys. There needs to be someone who shows up and starts doing like the 60-minute sit-down interviews where it's like the controversy, like the dark side ring of podcast, where people agree that they trust this person, and where we're getting like Robert Downey Jr. style walkouts, like Paris Hilton style walkouts of interviews and shit. There needs to be that guy that people trust in that way in wrestling, but everybody's working. So I don't think you can really ever get that in pro wrestling because everybody's working all the time. But that's the only lane that hasn't really been tackled. And if you don't understand this yet, I don't care if you're jealous, if you're fucking envious and shit and want to shit on my audience too, to try and kiss up to Robbie fucking Fox, then go ahead and do that. But Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is something like it's just jocktobering. Like, get with the fucking times. Get with the times, guys. So this guy goes, whether you like Dave Meltzer or not, it's impossible to not laugh at these guys who talk about him like he's Osama bin Laden. I don't talk about him like he's Osama bin Laden. I talk about Dave like he's an old coot. Even if every accusation they lob against him is true, it's not accusations. Accusations! It's not accusations, bro. It would only make Meltzer a biased wrestling journalist, which hardly is a real crime. Yeah, nobody said it's a crime. Hey, guess what I say it is? He's just a biased wrestling journalist who we farm for lulz because he's a lol cow. It's called a lol cow. Right? And I tweet this out. They aren't accusations, and he's a lol cow. He's flat out said people were dead who weren't. Said he had internal WBD memos that was a fan-made spreadsheet he got off a rival Dirt Sheets Discord server. He affects wrestlers as jobs, is a condescending asshole to everyone online, and so much more. Wrestlers, thank me for it. Wrestlers have thanked me for roasting Dave, guys. Surface-level marks who are 1 foot in, 1 foot out on pro wrestling don't get it, and that's totally fine. But if you're a sicko, you're a wacko, you're a TNA hole, you're in the trenches, you love pro wrestling, this isn't your first time ever hearing about Jordan Oasis or Brittany Brooks, right? This isn't your first, you understand what an Orange Cassidy is? Then yeah, dude, it's, you know what I mean? People get it and people enjoy. There's a reason why the narrative shifting towards Dave as well. And so, yes, surface dwellers, casuals, I get it. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not out here like the real news comes from the, like JD, you'll see him like, guys, Fightful said this and PWI said this and Dave said this. Other dirt sheets are good and only the Observer's shitty. No, dude, no. I make fun of all this shit. You know what I mean? And not only that, I just chronicle it. I just report it, I guess, if you will. And all I do is I just give my take, do funny impressions, and I lol cow Dave Meltzer once a week. Once a week. It's the big fucking deal, you know? And that's the other thing. If you typed in Roman Reigns or any other person, type in Tony Khan, type in any of these other fucking names, and there's a million videos of them too. Because I upload and I drop videos every fucking day. Because I'm trying to get on my YouTube grind and I'm building over here. I know that Barstool handed you a platform. Okay. I know that Buddy's Pizza Bite reviews was then parlayed into you guys' surface level. But imagine this, though. Imagine like trashing Barstool for all of the NFL videos they have on their shit, like covering football. Yeah, I talk about pro wrestling. And then Robbie pretends like he doesn't understand that. You're either an incredibly dumb fuck or you're gaslighting people to try and win an internet argument where you got in your fifis about me just blanket statements saying it's an L to defend Dave. If you're defending Dave, like, you're cooked right now. If you're defending Marty Scurll, you're cooked right now. You goddamn sicko. But yeah, it's not this. They're like, it's a crime. What are you saying? It's a crime to... No, not at all. I don't want Dave to stop either. This is what people don't understand about this shit. And when people don't understand like the Dabbleverse and stuff, it's reality TV. That's all it is. It's real. I just want to see the chaos unfold. I want to see Dave continue to spurg out and be biased and make an ass out of himself and say dumb things like, oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. The best guy.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
I want him to call Bad Bunny just an ethnic celebrity. This is the thing, too. They act like it's so crazy. So it's cringe when I make fun of Dave for him saying shit about Bad Bunny that's borderline racialist. Meanwhile, right now, Bad Bunny's all over the news because people are being fucking racialist towards him going into this Super Bowl halftime show.
He had that Cuervo with him the whole time, too.
What's so fucking hard to understand? It's a drama stream, folks. Like, Jesus Christ. The wrestling folks are in such a bubble. And that's me versus Robbie Fox, I guess, right, guys? So round of applause to me. We're mainstream. David Portney, I heard, actually knows about us now. Sports Illustrated is looking to poach me. That's right. Phil Marks coming to SI soon. Oh my God. Guys. So let me check in with chat, and then do we do some more? I got another sickos for you guys. Just a quick one, okay? Just a quickie with the sickies, right? A quicko for the sickos. So Yoda Cola 23 has been a member for 22 months. Guys, memberships are 99 cents. I do bonus shows, and recently it's been this slop, quote unquote, drama.
Acknowledge me.
Yoda Cola 23 for 10. Thank you for the huge support. Says it's slop because you didn't have a very comprehensive list of New Japan wrestlers in the other category for your year-end awards that you said multiple times that aren't that serious. Oh yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, when it comes to the Marie stuff, listen, she just like unfollowed me and started hating on me last month when I was covering Wrestle Kingdom. Like, you can go look at the videos and look at the YouTube comments. She's like literally saying, "Don't say Nuge," and quote tweeting me and rolling eyes, and I let that go. Like that's just like, whatever. Okay, you don't have to like me, it's fine. Even though, like, dude, I had her on my show, I helped her with her YouTube. I don't want to bring all that shit up to fucking like hang that over anyone's head either. It is what it is. But like, I had her back with when the fucking message board sickos were going over, and then yeah, she was saying shit like, it's just for money that you do this. It's like, look at your timeline, it's just you begging for money. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. So I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just shitty that happened. But yeah, exactly. Like, gatekeeping Nuge is fucking whack. That's going to make people not want to watch it. That's what the sickos did with the Google it shit. Maybe try it my way. I think I promote Nuge better calling it Nuge than fucking a bunch of the people who do shows and get like 10 views on their Nuge shows and shit. Sorry. Let me do it this way. Take the ball and run with it a bit. I don't know, guys. But I won't promote your favorite wrestling feds then. Like, what do you want me to say to that? It's fucking stupid. And then you have Robbie Fox going, this guy just covers Dave. No, I fucking look up Tsuji. I bet you'll find the same 12 seconds worth of videos just going into this year alone and stuff. So I don't know, man. Envy's a sin. Thee shall repent. At the chapel, at the church of Phil Marks here. So, yeah, that's just it. I'm not Nuge sicko enough. I'm just trying to preach it to the whatever. I don't care. I'm not trying to like bury other people, like whatever. I'm not gonna fucking hate on anybody, but it's unfortunate. So let's get into we have some more sicko. Let's see. As a Vikings wow, remember her now being on here. That's fucked up. As a Vikings fan, I hope the Patriots win for my sanity. I don't remember the Google it narrative in a demanding or forced manner. It kind of was, though, dude. The sickos were like, you can Google it, you can Google it. And then people had to make fun of it to the point where, like, now people don't say Google it, because you know how ridiculous that is. And also because the main response was like, if you tell everyone to Google it, no one's going to fucking watch the show. And you've seen the ratings dip ever since then. So I'm glad Nicolo Piccolo is actually getting New Japan stars to join WWE, and it's to stick it at Con. I hope that's what he's doing. I hope that's what he's doing. You know? Probably seriously watches that Joshi apartment wrestling. I don't know. Listen, I'm not trying to bury her and shit, but yeah, it's I had her on the show like 3-4 times on the live show, and if you count all the appearances, I think it was like 4 times. And I like what she was doing, man. And I sought her out. I had her on because it's like, hey, she knows and cares about Nuge and all this stuff. And then I don't know what the play was like to fucking like to, and then like, I don't know. I took it offensively because she kind of went at the fan. She's like, it's slop and it's just anything for $1. And all this stuff, and I don't know, man. It's just kind of cringy. to go that route when it's like, well, and then for what? Like to get a rub from Robbie Fox? Like he doesn't give a fuck. He's not even in the, whatever. It's all good. It's just unfortunate, but yeah, good luck on your future endeavors, I guess. I don't know. See ya. But I don't think she watches Apartment Wrestling. I think that's but she does make videos defending Marty Scurll on Rumble for like 20 views, and I had to throw a little barb back that way, and I quote tweeted and said that and was just like, peace out. I'm not paying attention to this anymore. Okay, so that's about all the no, we got one more sickos. I just want to cover this because it's like everyone's already kind of talked about it already, but it's just a quick one. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all come together again for another little mini sicko WWE 2K26 come out, right? And we talked about it earlier, Triple H being a mark for himself. That's a big topic in the IWC. Now, Triple H, I'll say this, man, when he's out there producing shows and then they release the backstage clips on their social media, like here's Triple H helping people with the fucking production of their entrances and stuff. I've defended him. Like he is known for having cool entrances, whether it's DX by himself. Triple H is known, if not for anything, for having fucking cool entrances at WrestleMania and just in general, and cool music. All of his songs are slappers. Back the DX music, okay? Break it down, da, da, da. And then his other song where it was like wanna. You guys know like the old one. You almost can't even. I don't even know what to call that type of music, but it's trippy like. And I think the DX band might have did some vocals on that too or whatever. But his like early Attitude Era music, I guess you could call it. And then his, of course, like Time to Play the Game. That shit rules. And then Bow Down to the King. That one rules. Also, Evolution is a Mystery. And of course, Motorhead is a lot to, you got a lot to give credit that way, right? But you got a lot of credit you can throw that way for how boss Motorhead is, but they didn't do all of those themes. And then, of course, the D-Generation X band, I think, did a couple other ones. Whatever. I digress. Triple H, he's known for entrances and music and doing cool shit at WrestleMania. So, yes, you want to talk to him about your gear, how you come across on TV. Plus, he's in Gorilla, and the buck stops with him. So I don't think he's that big of a mark for shit like that. Him being on the video game, I maintain my argument, like, it's just to tie together the Attitude, Monday Night War, all of that shit. You say Monday Night War edition and the King of Kings edition and the CM Punk edition, because he came in at the end and was kind of ECW mixed in with the Attitude or the Ruthless Aggression era. And also, if you know, Nick Khan's a huge ECW mark and they've been adding ECW guys. And so it just gives them a chance to blend. If you have CM Punk on the cover, Triple H, and then you go Monday Night Wars, then that encompasses like DX and NWO. And if you've been paying attention to the last handful of games, they have been adding a lot of Attitude Era type shit. They're rolling out some battle pass system that people are mad at. It sounds like a crock of bullshit as far as like what they expect out of you to grind this game. Like you buy the DLC, but then you have to grind to unlock the DLC anyways. It's fucking stupid. I'm with everyone on that, but Triple H being on the cover of this game really fucking triggered people. Okay. And so Jason G from the SAT says Triple H is a 9-time WWE champion and a 5-time world champion cope. And so these sickos are like, I agree. I think Triple H is a bigger egomaniac than Hogan and Vince, which is saying something. Guys, the reason they went so hard with this is the Hunter Hearst Helmsley, this is the Paul Levesque, the Triple H era. And the reason why they're sticking Triple H on the forefront and letting it be known so hard, so quickly, that he is the new face of the company, I believe that's a Nick Khan plan, okay? Allegedly, that's Nick Khan's game plan because they are trying to wash the stink of Vince McMahon away as quickly as they can. And on top of that, he is a good performer, and he can't go perform in the ring, but it's like a 2-for-1. Dude, we can get him to, yes, perform in these commercials. Celebrities love him. He has a Rolodex of fucking people he can call up to do these ads and shit. And not only that, like, he is the face that runs the fucking place, and they want to sort of go into a new era where Vince is washed away from that shit as far as like him being the owner. And I think this was Nick Khan's plan the whole time. And that's why they dove nose first, head first right into it. And they've really been beating everyone over the head with that notion. So I don't think it's ego shit. And I don't now, does it stroke his ego? Fuck yeah. Does it pop him a little bit to know he's still over and shit? And that people, yes. Do they boo the authority in WWE? Yes, they booed him after they would have booed him if he went out there after the AJ match. It doesn't mean the AJ match was wrong or bad, like everybody tried to extrapolate from that situation because they're fucking redacts. So anyways, Josh Smith says Triple H isn't allowed a mirror in his bedroom. He explodes at the sight of himself. Which I'm not saying that some of that isn't true. Like, for sure, the dude's got an ego. For sure, the dude loves to perform. For sure, he still wants to perform. There's probably a bit of that. But at the same time, man, they're just erasing, like, Vince is the owner and shit. They acknowledged Vince McMahon as a one-time winner. He might go in the Hall of Fame and stuff like this. But as far as, and it's not like we're going to Chris Benoit him, delete him from everything. And even Benoit now, they will touch on Benoit now a little bit, and they will show him and mention Benoit and stuff like that, which I think is appropriate. I don't think we need to honor him and put him in the Hall of Fame and all that stuff when it comes to Benoit. And I've been very clear on this, but I think it's appropriate to not like, let's just pretend he didn't exist when the Radicals came in and shit. Or even like WrestleMania 20, don't put him in the game and don't put that moment in the games and don't really dwell on those moments too much other than Eddie. But like, or if you show Eddie and Benoit maybe like hugging in the ring, but you show it from behind where you see Eddie's face and you don't like dwell on Benoit. But if you're like talking about the main events and then you show like a moment from the confetti fall or something, like I'm not fucking, or just skip over it. You have so many manias, you don't even got to linger on it, right? I'm like, it's just, I think it's important not to erase history or try and alter it, but you don't need to like praise him for anything either. And Triple H never did anything so egregious to where he doesn't deserve praise. He deserves a legendary status in the wrestling business, whether you like it or not. He's done legendary shit. He's the guy below all the guys. He's not quite The Rock and Austin and all of those dudes, but he was the guy when those guys weren't there. He was your go-to player. He was QB2, if you will. He was the sixth man. You call him in when you need him, and he puts up fucking 30 points and 10 rebounds, and you're like, oh shit, right? That's what Triple H is. So I don't know what people are mad about, but the King of Kings editions finally announced. This guy says the absolute self-stroking ego of Triple H has reached new levels of absurdity. Triple H putting himself on all 3 covers of 2K26 is so damn selfish. Stupid bald fraud. Oh boy. Was Triple H in DX and the World Heavyweight Champion in the Attitude Era? Oh yeah, then he should be on the cover of that, of the Monday Night War edition. And and then what's the other cover? The King of Kings. Okay. So that's like saying Cena shouldn't be on the King of Kings cover. Or pardon me, this King of Kings. Dummy, the farewell tour cover or whatever the fuck they did for him. Pardon me. That's like saying Tonga Loa shouldn't be on the Bloodline cover they did because what has he done and shit? Like Triple H is fucking Triple H, man. Triple H is such a narcissist. Oh my God, LMAO, you can't do nothing but laugh for real. Literally nobody in the wrestling world has a bigger ego than Triple H. I don't know, man. Triple H goes and faces the noise after all of these PLEs, after everybody made up the lie that Triple H didn't want to face noise from the fucking media. he takes it to the people and he does the post shows in front of the people, and they're way more critical. They'll chant fucking Edge at him, and he takes it. So that was a lie. And then this whole like his ego is such a narcissist. Who is he supposed to put on the cover? The Hulk Hogan editions. And then you guys go, he's racist. Who's he supposed to put on the cover that you guys won't fucking cry about, or that hasn't been on a cover? Undertaker just had a special, the Phenom edition or whatever. Could have been AJ Styles. Well, they were trying to keep AJ Styles. They were trying to keep him signed, and they didn't want him to retire. And then this guy goes, imagine Vince putting himself on a WWE video game cover. And this is a problem too. We're dealing a lot of times, and I don't know how old like that Robbie Fox kid is and shit, but we're dealing with people like if you were born in 2005 or whatever, it's like, shut the fuck up, kid. You know, like you don't have fucking, I was born in the 90s and people tell me to shut the fuck up. And I look to, you know, some people will go, oh, you're in your 30s, you haven't even done shit yet in life. Like there's a lot of people who look at it that way. So it's like, shut up. But you're dealing with kids who didn't even know SmackDown versus Raw is a thing. Right? And so Vince was on the cover. You know, Triple H was on the cover. The fucking McMahons are in every fucking game. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Vince McMahon was one of the biggest characters. He's been the world champ. But Triple H was world champ before he was Booker and stuff. You know? So Nick Khan's a huge fan of him as well, and he has say and input on a lot of stuff, including the games. All right? So, yeah, that was people getting mad at the WWE 2K covers, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was our So let's get into other news. Let's talk about the Hangman stuff, shall we, chat? Let's get into this Hangman stuff. Hangman's cutting a promo. Speaking of Hangman, and we're gonna start. I just want to find a good starting point for this because we already covered this a bunch, but we will head over here. What's chat saying? I gotta hydrate, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe. Almost 300 watching. Run those likes up to 100. Shout out Jose the assistant who's in the chat with flutes, throwing them flutes up. I'll return in 8 hours when he finally gets to the good stuff. Yeah, dude, this was actually just the intro to PWT this week, folks. It was the intro. We're finally just getting started here with the show. So, yeah, I want to pull something up over here. What the fuck is chat saying? Yeah, guys, I did a bonus episode of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week on Patreon as well. So make sure you guys sign up for that. And I go over Dave Meltzer's list of best friends. You're my best friend. You're a real bad bitch, Brian. You'll be surprised where Brian Alvarez and some of these people, where it took him as far as like years deep into their relationship to deem them best friends as well. It's fucking hilarious. So here, I'm trying to pull up YouTube. I want to look at the poll in the chat, and I want to take a look at the likes. Let's get to 100. We're at 60. We have well over 160 people watching on fucking YouTube. So make sure you guys run those likes up to 100. I asked, what match are you guys most likely or most looking forward to tonight on Dynamite? MJF versus Brody King, Omega versus Andrade El Idolo, Hangman versus Mark Davis, or Ricochet versus Jack Perry. And you guys voted Omega versus Andrade. That's what I voted myself as well. And no on as fun at AEW shows. They're just happy they're contributing. to the death of wrestling. You going to review the Tony video from today? Oh, most certainly. We're on Tony Khan watch, of course. We're on Tony Khan watch, and that will be in AEW news for sure. And it's crazy because when you look up Tony Khan on X, the second account that comes up is called Tony Khan Coke. And it's just brutal, buddy. Like, but yeah, of course, we have Tone. We have Steamboat Tone. And so, yeah, we'll pull up this picture. We'll just start with the photograph itself. Look at this photograph. 39 likes to get to 100, says George Capture. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, let's head over to this segment that's not really AEW news, but it is the beginning of AEW news. But first, a word from an AEW superstar. I know we had Jose the assistant in chat, but another one is here right now. Let's see.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for AEW news. In a way, I guess we'll just hit them with one of these, and we'll hit them with one of these. But recently, Hangman Adam Page was spotted in a picture at a Cracker Barrel. And he confirmed what I said as well. It's not like they ran into each other. Like, they were having lunch together at fucking Cracker Barrel, dude. With the old logo, too. None of that new modern shit. Fucking woke gay motherfuckers ruining Cracker Barrel. No. Jokes aside, though, it is the old fucking sign, if I'm not mistaken. And they went to a good old country Cracker Barrel. And Adam Page was with Marty Scurll, and Marty Scurll posted this to his Instagram, and people melted down, and we covered Matt Cain's take on it. I think we have a little bit more of Matt Cain's take on this situation as well. I think we have a couple more tweets, but basically, he completely went off on Brock Lesnar for shit, and then is like, I can understand why people would be friendships are complicated things. It's like, buddy, shut the fuck up, man. Like, no one's asking Hangman to cancel Scurll or don't be friends with him, or maybe they are. I don't know. And yeah, I don't, like, me personally, bro. I would probably not be cool. I don't know anyone who's done some shit like that, and if I did, I would probably not be cool with them personally. Just, you know, that's all I can say. But when it comes to Hangman, it's not even about, oh, you have to denounce him and not be friends with him. It's just like, yeah, maybe don't be buddy with him publicly when you publicly take time to virtue signal for women. And I just call women or women's wrestling and all that shit he's doing. And don't be a virtue signaling, pandering fuck. And then take pictures with this dude. Wasn't Hangman like a fucking teacher for high school students as well? And I don't mean to be that guy, but it's like, you would think he would be like extra offended by what Marty Scurll allegedly did, right? Allegedly fucking did. I don't know. Okay.
Allegedly.
I don't know if anybody's been charged or what's going on there, but you would think he would be like, didn't he teach high school kids, bro? Like, you would think you'd be fucking anyways. But Hangman gives an interview to noted IWC fuckface, I mean butt sniff, I mean John Alba, journalist John Alba of Sports Illustrated. And he had this to say. Hangman Page addressed it head on, which shout out Alba actually for just asking him about it. And yes, is it a safe space where if Hangman wanted something cut out, or maybe it was live, I don't know, but was it a safe space for him with Alba? Absolutely. Did he know he was going to be asked about the shit by Alba first? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. And so this is what gets said here by Hangman. He says, I don't want that photo to seem like some kind of endorsement or I have any interest whatsoever in whitewashing what he did. So you're fucking Epsteining, bro. So what's happening right now is there's a bunch of people in Epstein files that are dropping. Clearly a bunch of people did a bunch of bad shit. Makes you sick to your fucking stomach. But a bunch of people are also like, well, that absolves me. I'm only in 10 pictures with them and I'm totally absolved, even though it's like millions of files that they're probably not even a quarter of the way sleuthing through and connecting dots like the last few days or whatever. And you're fucking Epsteining him, dude. You're like, well, hey, this isn't my buddy. Did we get lunch at Cracker Barrel? Sure. I don't mean to endorse him, but did we fucking split the Uber there first and the fucking appetizer? Yeah. Did we split the check? And does he have my fucking Cash App so he can fucking quickly hit me back for getting the fucking schooners? Yeah, dude. What's that Cracker Barrel? What's one of their fucking menu items? I'm not familiar. Right? But it's just so funny. It's like, this isn't an endorsement, but we did carpool here together, right? It's so whitewashing what he did or any interest or intention of rehabilitating. And I'm not saying Hangman would do or whatever the fuck, but, and also there is the thing that should be noticed that like Scurll, whatever he was accused of doing, I guess was legal wherever he is. Right. So, and I was a big Marty Scurll fan. Who wasn't? He had those, the villain shirts and all that shit. I mean, the crowd fucking went nuts when he came into NWA. Everyone was like, oh shit's going to turn around. But then boom, just a fucking wave of these guys. And the people who never really recovered, Marty Scurll's one of them. And again, this isn't an indictment really on Hangman. It's just a matter of, here's the problem. Here's what we want from Hangman. We don't want him to give this pandering. Well, this statement isn't pandering. The shit he does, oh, women, you know, I just want to like protect women and fucking just be there for women, man. And like, you know, women's wrestling is like men's wrestling and women. And then like you're hanging out with a dude who like, it's not good optics. And we don't want you to say shit about not being his friend. At least I don't. I want to hear Hangman go, yeah, so like it's kind of cringe that I not in my vernacular either. Like you can say it your way, but Hangman has to go, listen, I've kind of pandered and this reflects poorly, but I do stand by my sentiments and hopefully that reflects like they say you're the company you fucking keep, and I would rather that be a reflection of me than Scurll. And also, you know, the fan base. Because listen, man, the fucking fan base, nobody takes accountability for like, okay, they go nuts. And like people like Bix and Span drool over Hangman when he's doing this virtue signaling shit. But then when shit like this comes out, they go, oh man, it was AI. Again, Epstein file conspiracy theorist. That's not me in there. That's AI. Oh no, man. Jay-Z was just AI'd and all of that shit. All the ones with you know, fucking those ones are AI, but these ones aren't, man. But these ones are. It's fucking just so dumb. It's like, who are you protecting? You know, what is this? Just be upfront about it. And I don't need you to like justify, well, you know, I'm not actually even really friends with him, but like, just denounce him or don't, or say, yes, that's my friend. He did something fucked up and it's complicated and the fans need to be chill about this. And it's unfortunate that, the things I advocate for clearly don't align with this guy, or didn't at one point. But I'm hoping that whatever, but just don't dance around this tiptoeing. And then with Alba, here's the thing, like Alba, for people shitting on Alba for asking him this or not, or like, what did you guys want? He asked him the tough pressing question. Like, this is the question to ask. Now he's the guy who gets to ask it because AEW deemed him like that's their safe space guy. SI, they've co-opted SI and shit. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. And I'm fine with Alba asking the question. Anytime I roast Alba, it's for stuff other than this, his like pompousness. But him asking Hangman straight up was the best thing ever, I think, because now I get to react to his dumbass answer. So anyways, Hangman goes along and says, none of that is something that I've ever been interested in doing. So I'm not interested in endorsing this guy. So I texted him right away. The follow-up should be, so did you text him and tell him to pull it down? Or what? Or like, you're cool with him leaving the picture up there? Like, it's not an endorsement of him, but like, you're a public person in public social media. You're signing up to be not private. When you sign up to social media, guys, you're signing up to be like a public profile. That's literally what it's called. And you're a public figure. You both are. So at some point, there's an issue of you sacrifice your public profiles and shit where you don't want to make them too personal and shit. Obviously, everyone understands this. You're granting all these people access, and you guys I'm supposed to believe that there's over 1 million people watching Adam Page on TV every week. So it's not endorsing him, but like, you're cool that he endorses you on his fucking private at Instagram or whatever. That's stupid. So Hangman goes along and says, I think that the consequences of his action that he's had mostly from the public, aside from the like harassment, I think it's been warranted. And so if Scurll's been harassed, I mean, yeah, that can be fucked up too, 100%. And when things like this come to light, sometimes it takes public discourse to make people take action. Sometimes people sit in silence if nobody's willing to speak up. At the same time, though, like privately DMing him harassment and stuff, is it warranted? No, but then again, people would say, oh, come on now, Phil, was it warranted that he did what he's accused of fucking doing? And a lot of people would say no. So, I mean, again, it goes both ways, as Brendan Shaw would say. Both ways, B. So he goes on to say, not now, not ever. Okay, none of that is something I've ever been interested in doing. Not now, not ever. And I think the consequences of his action that he's had mostly from the public, aside from like harassment, I think they've been warranted. So I kind of want to make that clear. If you hear all that and you listen to all that and you feel like maybe you wouldn't have done the same thing had you been in my shoes, or maybe you still feel uncomfortable being a fan of mine, or even if you've lost like the smallest amount of respect for me because of any of that, I would just want to say I completely understand that. I can respect it and accept it. Okay, fair enough. I guess who I am is when people treat me with kindness, I try to return it. No, dude, fucking pedos treat kids with kindness to lure them in the van, okay? So I'm not saying, again, Marty Scurll's doing anything. Maybe that was too on the nose. This is South Park. I'm a fake person. I'm not. This is all in your mind. Imagination land. Right, dude? I'm just kidding around here. But listen, you don't... just because someone's nice to you doesn't always mean they have your best fucking interest at hand. But that's obviously... Marty Scurll and him are friends and have been friends for a long time. So just say that, Hangman. Just say that. Just say, I've been friends with him forever. When you're Bullet Club 444 for life, dude. What can I say, brother? That's what you do. You just be honest about it. Okay? So moving along here. Or you make videos on Rumble sweeping for Scurll, and or you do that. I don't know. You guys, sorry, I don't mean to be, I'm taking shots now. And then he says that, but more or less, or he says, I guess who I am is when people treat me with kindness, I try to return it. I have never really wanted to get into that. And that's more or less why I have a private relationship with him. That almost makes it worse. You see these private relationship in the Epstein files, dude. It's almost worse for motherfuckers who kept it private. No. And that's more or less why I have a private relationship with him, not out of a sense of self-preservation or shame. Liar. Fucking liar. Liar.
Liar!
Then book him on Dynamite. Liar, dude. Not out of a sense of self-preservation or shame or something like that, but more or less, I just would never want that to be misconstrued as like an endorsement or something. So you don't want it to be misconstrued. Why don't you want it to be misconstrued so that you can preserve your image?
You fucked up! You fucked up! You fucked up!
So, like, you know, I'm down with him, and when, like, we're fucking around and he's making jokes and we're fucking broing down, eating wings at Cracker Barrel and slugging their fucking happy hour special back. Do they serve alcohol there? I don't know. Yeah, you're fucking, you know, we're cool. We're cool in that way and everything, but, like, I don't endorse what he did in his private life at parties I wasn't at, but, like, I don't want that to be misconstrued as I like this guy or anything, but I'm not trying to self-preserve my image or anything like that. What are you talking about? Talking out of both sides of your fucking ass?
What you know, you goddamn liar!
And if I give Alba shit for any one fucking thing, if I give Alba shit for any one thing, did he press him on this? Did he follow up? Did he do a classic Phil Marks follow-up?
Put me out of my misery!
Where you go, listen, dude. You just said you don't want to self-preserve your shit, but then you just explained why preservation's key in the way you can conduct yourself in your relationship with this man by keeping it private. Does that not seem hypocritical? Do you not see why people would be critical of that? You don't even have to try and call him on a shit. You just go, do you not see how people would be hypocritical of that? It's fucking nuts. If he didn't push him on that a little bit, then you're just giving him a platform. So again, I'm not one of these fucking guys who's like, oh, you platformed him. But it's like, there is a thing as platforming someone. And this would be it if he didn't at all push back or come back with a talking point. And this is why it's funny when pompous dickheads like Alba say to people like JD, the funniest thing is, like, we could all do your job. You could never do ours.
Sure thing, bro. Sure thing.
Bro, you could never be as funny or do impressions like me, Alba. You couldn't, and I could easily do an interview as easily as you. And I'd fucking push people way harder. Robbie fucking Fox. Fuck are you guys talking about? Surface dwellers. That's what we call them, dude. And we're the fucking Morlocks down here. I don't know. Maybe that. I think Jim Cornette's used Morlock to describe sickos before. So I don't know if that's goddamn surface dwellers. No. But it's like fucking, dude, they're like the elitists looking down Dave and Alba with their pompous looking down nose in the air at everyone. Okay, we'll own it. We'll own it. What's that movie, Elysium, where all the elites are like in the sky and shit? Elysium film. Isn't that right with Matt Damon? Matt Damon. Yeah, the super rich escape to a luxury space station. That's what they think. They're all like these elitists. And we're like, I'll be Matt Damon, dude. I'll be Good Will Hunting, bitch. Let's fucking do it. So, anyways, he just says, but I guess I've always thought that he's still a human being. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he never like went to jail for anything or anything like that. And some people say, well, it's just creepy. Okay, he's a fucking creep. People do way worse. Should he never be allowed to watch or to work a job somewhere in the world? I think it depends what job, maybe, but no, he should be allowed to make a living. Are people well within their right to go, we don't want to hire him, we don't want to see him on our TV, we don't want to fucking support this guy and buy tickets to see him wrestle? They're well within their right to do that too. And that's how you let people decide. And yeah, I mean, he says, Hangman says, and that relationships are complicated, but they're still relationships, and he's still a human being. I don't know. I think I'm doing a fair job of keeping the same energy like John Cena with Vince McMahon. Yeah, that's been his friend for how long? He's changed his fucking life. Scurll and Hangman know each other. It's not like this dude it's not like they found videos on Scurll's phone like the ones found on Epstein list. I'm still going back to that. That shit's crazy. That shit's fucking crazy. I think Ashley Massaro was even brought up in that shit. That stuff's crazy, man. But and it's pressing. It's like, it's crazy we're just sitting here like talking about wrestling when that's really going on in the world. But you know, it's not like Marty Scurll had a situation like that. And I guess just trying to be fair, give everyone their fair shake of things. Scurll, it was, I guess, a legal situation. So yeah. And with Vince, I say the same thing. He didn't go to fucking jail. This lady wanted money and she was down with the pee-pees and the poo-poos and the fucking weirdo shit. The deleted scenes from Eyes Wide Shut shit. You know what I mean? If that's what the fuck is going on, I mean, whatever. It's a freak off or whatever. And she was getting paid, but then it became like trafficking, I think is whatever. Cena, he hasn't gone to jail, and Cena's best friends with him. I'm not going to go, well, Cena's an evil person. But when asked about it, just look at his answers. Look at Cena's answers to the Vince thing compared to Hangman's answer with this Scurll thing. He's just completely skirting, going like, I don't want to have this misconstrued as I'm this guy's friend or anything, but I mean, we shared an Uber and split the appies. Like, it's cringe, bro. Just say it. Just fucking say it. So moving along here, and I hope I was fair. I tried to be really fair, and but we get like sickos and people chiming in and Bichtenspan and all of these fucking guys. So this person here, Cosmic Angel Vel, says Hangman was a high school teacher. His students were the same age as Marty's victim. Oh, I have so much I could say about all of this, but that fact alone is haunting. And do you know what's crazy in the news too? There's a lot of like female teachers banging young students. You guys see that shit? There's so much of it. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of stories with male teachers being involved in it too, but it just seems like lately there's a lot of fucking white ladies sleeping with little kids, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck's going on there either. But Hangman fans applauding his statements on the pic he took with the sexual predator are so funny, man. He obviously doesn't care enough or think it's that bad if he still wants to sustain that relationship. And that's the thing right there. So again, I didn't like quite get that point across. So thank you, Nug at Nug Smiles Anyway on X. Makes a good point though. Like, if you maintain that relationship, then clearly what he did, like possibly like, I don't want to like allege that he doesn't care, but it's like, does it matter to you that much then? And is it something everyone should excommunicate him? No, but I feel like Marty Scurll gets sort of the Tessa Blanchard treatment in a way where what has he done to like sincerely own up to this in any way? That's sort of the thing with Tessa. Like, some people just feel as though, and this is some of the wrestlers feel this way with Tessa, that she hasn't really owned up to everything she's done. She kind of skirts around it. And that's what Marty, I think, gets heat for more than anything. And that's why we make fun of Joey Ryan, because it's like he makes these videos like every it's cancel culture. What is cancel culture? It's like, bro, you're fucking years too late. The cancel culture. You're making cancel culture videos, dude. You made people grab your dick and are a fucking weirdo, like, go away. So, but, well, Joey fucking claims he's made strides in the right direction, but whatever. His cringe ass theater drama, high school theater class, fucking drama class videos where he's coping aren't it, Chief. And so, yeah, Nug points out, though, like, he obviously doesn't care enough or think it's that bad if he still wants to sustain that relationship. Any kinship to him should be dead after that some sentence. Now, yeah, dude, I think it like people like, I don't know, was Scurll preying on girls? Like, I don't get it. I don't know the ins and outs. I should like do a deep dive one day or something and, you know, actually go into it, or I'll get fucking JJ can DM me all about it or something. I'm sure he knows, but it's like, was there multiple people, or was it like a one instance thing? I don't fucking know. But knowingly going into a situation, if you're like an older dude and you're like hooking up with people with teen in their age, I think that that's a crazy thing. Personally, not my preference. This is all disgusting. You can tell by how awkward I am right now. So moving along, SI tweets this: Hangman Adam Page spoke with John Alba about a controversial photo that emerged of him with former Elite member Marty Scurll last month. And then Julian Weeks tweets out, never forget how the sickos was replying to people left and right, telling them it was AI. And it's crazy. They tried to pull the AI card. AI? Are you fucking kidding me? AI. And this guy goes, as much as I want to kick Page and his fans back in on this, if you right click on the top right of the photo on IG, it appears that he possibly have been AI added. Guys, if you take a fucking picture on your iPhone, it's AI. I also wouldn't be shocked if, okay, so when you upload an image from like your phone or whatever to then Twitter, let's say, or Instagram, it then strips it of a bunch of shit. I wouldn't be shocked if AI was in that. Also, these AI content detectors are fucking AI. So I could write any paragraph, type it into the fucking AI content detector, and then it will fucking just say it's AI. Kurt Metzger, who's a funny comedian, he kind of goes down these conspiracy rabbit holes. He's so funny. He went on Joe Rogan recently and just checked Joe Rogan, and it was the funniest shit while being so funny at the same time. But Kurt Metzger says it best. Like, AI ain't shit when you've got to fact check AI, and you do. If you ask AI for anything, you got to like ask a second AI and then maybe click on a Reddit link. And then maybe fucking, you know, there's a few steps. You can't just automatically go, unless you're looking for like math, it has down, because that's just numbers. Fucking, I'm sure like you could do spell check on it. I'm sure you could do like organizational things and logging things and then generating images and stuff. Some of those are funny. The Triple Cup Tony Khan remix, not the OG 452, but the fucking remix version. That's what AI is used for, like funny songs about things and stuff, you know. To me, I love it. And so yeah, you see a lot of people too, like using AI to, and I pointed this out, they're using AI. You're seeing some wrestlers, and just in other areas, like in the entertainment business, people use like the Grok Imagine to, here's like a picture of all these wrestlers who aren't with us anymore, and then they're all laughing, right? You use Grok Imagine, and then you make them all sit there, look like they're happy and laughing and alive. And some people think that's creepy, and I do too, in a lot of ways. But at the same time, like using these AI content detectors, AI is going to tell you the truth about if it's AI is going to fucking, that's the only way it's going to take over the world, is if dum-dums like that are left in charge of everything, which apparently they were, man. Apparently the Epstein files, you guys see this shit? They were all over fucking Xboxes and 4chan and Reddits. They were like, Ghislaine Maxwell's like a fucking Reddit supermod and shit. Epstein's like all in these game forums, and he's all in these crazy internet sleuths, sickos, I tell you. But it's been right there in front of our face the entire time, guys. I'm fucking telling you, man. There's a reason we do this sicko segment, dude. We need to reinvestigate that guy who's the pastor's son with the fucking people chained up in his basement. We need to it's connected to Pizzagate. No. Yeah, let it go. Sorry, guys. So Yeah. Anyways, they tried to cop out with the AI thing. It's AI. It's AI, man. Look, here's Hangman in a photograph with someone else. And then it's so funny because Hangman Page just confirms what your boy Philly Phil's saying and confirms that it's not AI himself in the interview with Alba. And none of these people will walk it back. And it would have been a good time for Hangman to go, yo, conspiracy theorists. That's actually me, and I'm not AI'd in the picture, and here's why. So speaking of the conspiracy theorist sickos, man, and the blue sky sickos, the thing with blue sky, and I've talked about this, is that a lot of these folks who just can't take the fucking heat on Twitter, they ran to blue sky. People who don't like to be fact checked, who found themselves being in the minority on a lot of these issues and having to block billions and millions of people to live within their bubble of cognitive dissonance, this fucking like trap themselves in this web of fucking validation and lies and virtue signaling bullshit and thinking they're morally superior to everybody else and intellectually superior when it's the opposite because they're too emotionally immature to even handle opposing opinions. And I'm not talking like someone's hating, like, okay, I hate on Dave all the time. If him and Wrestling Observer and shit blocked me, fair game. You know, that's just balls in your court and you're fucking 100% right for doing that. That's what it's there for. It's a feature. You fucking use it. Bring yourself peace. But when you completely have been co-opted by motherfuckers like Tony Khan, who's out there, we've covered this. He's out there like telling Bixen Span to unblock sicko accounts because they're good dudes, people who have cheered on the Boston Marathon bombing. Tony Khan is there DMing. He's DMing with people who are fucking literally kicked off of Observer message boards. We covered this already on a sicko segment as well. And then publicly tweeting, yo, Bixen Span, unblock this guy. He's a good guy. What the fuck? And then you all just run to Blue Sky. And then this is what Bixen Span and these dudes spend their time doing. They go to Twitter. They keep their Twitters. They go to Twitter and look at what everyone's saying. Then they go and report back to Blue Sky what's going on Twitter, and then getting triggered over there where nobody will say, you're a retard. Stop being a baby. Right? So when you look at Twitter right now, trending, and I'll just talk about what's trending live on X. Right now in Canada, the Muppet Show is trending. The Fall Off is trending. Savannah Guthrie, Joe Biden, Samuel Blaze, Shinsuke. Let's look at, and that's in my for me, I guess. So McKenna in sports, Panarin, Chris Ball, Dynamite's number 4 trending. Also Andrade's in there. McAvoy, Epstein's trending. You know, like news, entertainment. So Bernie, the Save Act, Save America. But I have to like go to news to see the world burning down, right? When you go to Blue Sky, like they show you the overall trending right away, and it's always like, so look, and I don't follow any accounts, but immediately it's AEW, it's AEW Dynamite, Andrade versus Omega, AEW, and then the Melania film, because they're all crying about the Melania Trump film that fans seem to love and the critics just fucking hate. I don't know one way or the other. I will not watch that shit. There's nothing you could get me to watch that shit. That's cringe as fuck. Who cares? You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? A documentary about Melania. You were fucking hot and married a president. But you scroll the timeline and like, I don't follow anything on Blue Sky. I just have one to post my show. And all it is like doom and gloom. And then AEW shit comes up in my feed. So it's just like sickos who are over there crying about fucking the world ending and Trump and all this shit. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But it's so much delusion. And then at the same time, they want to go off about, to me, it just seems like pandering, virtue signaling bullshit. And then at the same time, they're going to go over there and cry that Hangman is actually a good guy and protect theirs and their own over there. And we know Hangman famously quit X for Blue Sky. So it's just, I called it the bubble paradox. That's kind of cringe. I get it, but that's what it's the Blue Sky paradox, if you will. But it's like these people who think they're like operating on a higher plane of consciousness when really you've just boggled and dumbed yourself down by locking yourself into this social media bubble. But then you guys still creep over on Twitter and then report back to Blue Sky. Just stay on Twitter and talk over there. I don't get it. It's so weird. So Bixen Spanish here sweeping. And he goes, I've talked to a few wrestlers who kept up friendships with people we generally agree on being obviously guilty of what they're accused of. And one did it in the face of the accused, threatening to kill himself, feeling that not being there as a friend would betray the historical friendship. So I get it. So the excuse is, one guy said, hey, dude, I'm suicidal. So he said, I'm only this guy's friend. I would never be this guy's friend, Bix, but I'm still his friend because he would have killed himself if I wasn't his friend. So I stayed his friend, but I don't condone his shit either. Who is that? Say who it is. That's the cringiest shit I've ever heard. That's crazy talk. So Bixen spans quote tweeting, quotes blue skying himself too. Under the circumstances, I feel like this is a fair answer, I guess. Keeping up some degree of friendship, hoping you can get them to do the work and come out the other side is at least understandable. Then why isn't this what you wrote about Vince? Why isn't this what you wrote about Brock? Why isn't this what you wrote?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Put that shit to a beat, dude. Why don't you keep the same fucking energy? You greasy sumbitch. And it seems like he realizes Scurll basically shanked him by posting the photo without permission. No, he doesn't. Yeah. Actually, it exposes that it's even worse than you thought. It exposes that Hangman's a phony fuck, but Bix is spinning it. Well, at least, he's kind of mad at him for blowing up his spot and showing everyone he's still friends with him, even though in the fucking interview, he flat out says he doesn't want it to be misconstrued like he likes fucking Scurll, but it's not a play to protect his own image. And that's certainly not what that interview is. Fuck you talking about, moron. Ugh. So, yeah, dude, be friends with Epstein. As long as he hides it in the files, it's all good. I keep going back. I can't let it go. It's on my mind. I'm brain rotted with it. It's what they want. That's the psyop. It's what they want. Bill Marks now works for the deep state. So moving along here, again, Bix just having a royal meltdown, picturing them huddled up with Heyman. So listen, this is what he's saying about Roman and Punk and fucking Brock and all these guys, picturing them huddled up with Heyman. Full John Lithgow visits the master thespian mode, acting. Seriously, why did he throw in that terrible fake laugh? It drags down his performance so much. Is that what he fucking said about Punk and Roman on this Raw? This is what I mean. These people aren't, what they are is they're activists who are fans of pro wrestling, but they're not good enough to make it in like the real, because they're fans of movies and shit too. For instance, John Lithgow visits the master thespian mode, acting. Like, these guys wish they could like review entertainment and politics and stuff, but they're too shitty to do it. So then they virtue signal in fucking pro wrestling. And a lot of people in politics do it in the entertainment space, but one step below that is fucking the pro wrestling journalism, quote unquote. Like, you guys, you're just agenda driven clowns standing for a certain company who's an internet. Tony Khan was a fucking internet sleuth, burner having, multiple account fucking Wrestling Observer, Mark shit poster. That's what Tone is. So he's obviously down with all these motherfuckers, and they're just agenda driven, dude. So moving along here, Meltzer said, wow, I can't believe that David wrestling SVU investigator Bixenspan is a complete hypocrite, hiding out with his other buddies on Blue Sky. Say it ain't so, Bix. Say it ain't so. All those pics in the Epstein files make me sick. Oh, say it ain't so. Andrew Skeets at B Sky says, yeah, whatever you think of the choices Hangman made, his loyalty to someone who he considered a friend was repaid with a knife in the back. Scurll is a total sleazebag. This guy, Wrestle Trash, says, think Hanger handled that as well as he could have, to be honest. Although to have kindness repaid by holy fuck, man. This is mentally ill. This is mentally ill. Yeah, it's fucked that he endorses this sicko dude, but you know it's more fucked up that he didn't hide this guy's friendship with him. Holy man, it's so ass backwards. It's so ass backwards with these folks. It's like, yeah, dude, you're friends with fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. How dare he post that picture, though? I mean, that's so shitty. It's all good that you knew what he did, but you were friends, but that's not the shitty thing. Let's just skirt it over to fucking Scurll because it's easy to hate on him. And this guy's got Hangman as his fucking profile. So who is this? You know, this is fucking someone's burner. No. And then Bixenspan retweeted these shits, just sweeping for Hangman because it's one of his guys. And it just shows everybody rallying behind him, just proving everybody right once again that you guys are biased cunts. And so moving along here, Blue Sky. So Shorty Grizz Exploder, shout them out, says, Blue Sky FC more pressed at Party Marty for posting the photo than at Hangman for this statement. And that's true. That's so fucking true. For me, I feel like this is fair. Hangman fully acknowledged and talked about how he found out what happened. Doesn't shy away from how wrong it was. Yes, he literally shied away from that part. So you're lying and sweeping. Doesn't shy away, also acknowledged his friendship and acknowledges that people are right and justified to feel however they feel about it. That is the worst breakdown of that statement ever. This guy's we still haven't figured out what compelled Scurll to do that. He knew what it would do. So it's a conspiracy against AEW. What compelled him to post this picture? The fuck you talking about, stupid? Scurll's been trying to get back in the business forever. And he's friends with Hangman. That's what compelled him. And the power of Christ compels you all. Pastor Phil here fucking exercising you motherfuckers. Gotta respect the way he was straightforward with his response and seems like he understands why this could lose him fans. He completely was not straightforward. He danced around. Well, he addressed it at least, and Alba asked him the question. I mean, there should have been a follow-up, but this guy says, I've never been in this situation, still being a friend of someone who did something this bad. Okay, what are you fucking trying to... I swear, guys, I didn't know anything about it. I had nothing to do with it. I swear to God. Everyone's like, what? I never was on Epstein Island. Fucking 10 pictures of you on Epstein Island, dude. What's going on? This guy's saying it's an honest, well thought out response. No, it's the opposite of those things. He didn't even think it out enough to realize how hypocritical Hangman. He didn't even realize how hypocritical of it is in the same sentence to say, I'm not doing this to preserve myself, but like I'm making this statement to let everyone know not to misconstrue our relationship. Well, then let's say fuck it, and you guys can construe it how you guys want. Fuck you. Then that would have been your response if you were trying to not do self-preservation, dude. You just been like, fuck it, but you didn't do that. He isn't trying to recoup Marty's image or vouch for him. He's an old friend, and he's trying to privately not alienate a man who has to live with the consequences of his actions. Life's messy and complicated. I don't think less of Paige for it. And then this guy goes, I thought it came off as honest, but not well thought out. It's thank you. Thank you, whoever this guy is. I'll give you a normal voice now. He says, I thought it came off honest, but not well thought out. It sounds like someone's still kind of processing things themselves. Processing what, dude? The guy drank around someone who was 17 and he fucking slept with her allegedly or whatever the fuck happened. And they were all drunk. And it's creepy.
Allegedly.
It's fucking creepy. Just accept that. Just accept that. It's a joke in movies. Oh, that guy graduated 2 years ago. Yeah, and he's dating the freshman fucking whatever. Betty Boop, you know? That's a fucking thing people make fun of. It's creepy. It is what it is. And it was much older than that, too, I believe, right? Am I not? I think I'm pretty accurate. And then this guy goes, honestly, honesty is all we can ask for. We don't know the depth of their friendship. What difference? Yeah, they were blowing each other. Like, who gives a fuck what the depth of the fucking friendship was? What does that change? We all have friends we've stuck by when they badly messed up. True. You know, drunk driving can kill people. We all know someone who's gotten a fucking DUI and they may have not killed anybody, but it's fucking horrible and you just hope they can be better and stuff. Absolutely. But no, I don't think anybody was saying abandon him. It's just acknowledge the fucking discourse around these fucking sickos who sit there and cope, and your fucking boss who goes, Harvey Weinstein. And then but then you guys like Marty Scurll and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You have to have the same energy, address that. Yeah, it looks hypocritical, I guess. Whatever. No comment. Moving on. That's just what you say then. John Cena. Yeah, he's been my friend for a long time. Just don't be a pandering, hypocritical fuck about it, and don't sit there and seem guilty, because now when we see Hangman going, oh man, women, you know, women are great and I totally love women, and it's like the Jamie Kilstein effect. Everybody Google that. Jamie Kilstein's this dude who fucking was a stand-up comedian, and then during like the woke let's cancel everyone era for just like making jokes and shit, he was on the forefront of it, and he had a feminist podcast, and he white knighted for all these women, and then a bunch of women came out and said he was a fucking big time creep. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You see these dudes who are overly like, yeah, women, they're fucking weirdos. Okay? And they weird women out. I fucking assure you of that. And it just seems like when Hangman does this, oh man, women's wrestling, you know, women, it's like, what are you really doing other than just being a pandering fuck? Because Tony Khan's never gonna change the way he books women. Maybe doing a little bit better just of booking in general, though. So it's not just the women. He's maybe doing a bit better of like, let's book matches people want to see, and let's give them a reason to look forward to that match. Again, Andrade Omega had a banger tonight, and I don't think people saw Andrade winning. Maybe they did, but they're clearly running with Andrade. So Tony, like, you know, doing some things a little bit better, we're noticing here on these Dynamites, right? Wrestlers pacing their matches out, I think, a little bit better time-wise. Anyways, though, when it boils down to fucking Hangman, it just seems like he's doing that to, like, again, save face and protect himself from, like, well, I'm buddies with Marty Scurll and Joey Janela and shit. And so to save my own ass, because I wasn't involved in, instead of just saying I wasn't involved in any of his freak shit, You know, he never got fucking charged of anything, and I haven't really asked him about it because, to be honest, I don't want to know. That's like his private life. We're friends, sure. That only goes so deep. We're not out here tag teaming women together and shit. I don't know. Next question. That's how you answer that. But instead of that, he does the virtue signaling thing, and then he's like, whoa, you know, I'm not really his friend, but I'm his friend, and like, I don't endorse him, and I don't want people to fucking take this the wrong way, but like, I love the guy, but hey, you know, this isn't me trying to save face or anything, I promise. But like, you know, he's a good dude. And I'll go to Cracker Barrel with him, but like, I don't like the guy, but like, I do like the guy, but let's just say it, dude. Say what you mean. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was like the Hangman sicko AEW news, sort of.
Yeah. Sometimes in life you gotta be a hoe.
Of the show, a couple of sickos in the show, some long segments today that have ruled, and today's been a really fun show. So let's get into actual AEW news, because there's quite a bit actually. And ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips is where I'm live. If you're watching on X, there's almost 300 watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes if you want to support, or you can super chat in. I do bonus shows for 99 cents. They're drama streams. Sometimes they're throwback streams. They're botch streams. I do once a week. I do a member show. It's typically on Member Monday. And come hang out with your boy Phil Marks and the PWT universe and those. It's 99 cents to join monthly on YouTube, and they're well worth it. And then there's tons of bonus content and shit on Patreon as well. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for the support. What is chat saying my way? Here, let me fucking... Let's see here. They're doing an ad for Scream 7. That looks dope. So moving along here, what's chat saying? Actually, sorry, let me check in with chat. I haven't checked. 613805 has been a member for 13 fucking months.
Acknowledge me.
And Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 for 2 says the sicko is giving me motivation to get 2K26. Yeah, just to support it for their hate on Hunter Hearst, dude. But here's the thing. 2K's fucking up, but that's another topic for like another show, I think. But 2K is kind of fucking up with the layout of like the DLC and all of that for the game. We're at 79 likes, guys. Run those fucking likes up to 100. Jesus Christ. Stino says, good shit, Phil. Hell yeah, dude. I'm crushing today. Today's been a great show. Calling motherfuckers out. Not really my style, man, but it's like we gotta fucking... I ain't playing around no more. I'm done with fucking... I ain't fucking pulling punches anymore, dude. Please no Jericho. Well, we already played Jericho. I'm waiting with bated breath. Phil Mark Cook Marks. Hell yeah. JJ, what's up? The Scream 7 popcorn bucket is stupid as fuck. I'd love to see it, dude. We gotta talk. JJ, we gotta do a fucking show, man. We gotta react to some movie trailers and stuff. Fuck. So Phil, add JJ. JJ, do you want a link? Do you want me to fucking add you? Let me get you a link, buddy, if you're chilling. Let me just see. You can jump in if you want to. I'm about to do some news and shit. I'm gonna fly through this AEW news. I'm right here. Okay, let's see, dude. Yeah, and give me your take, because, okay, are you itching? Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through chat, buddy. Sorry, I'm cooking. When I'm cooking, I ain't looking, you know? You're a poet and didn't know. When I'm cooking, I ain't looking. Oh. When I'm cooking with facts, I'm not looking at chats. So go. Right? So I'll send you a link here, buddy. You can jump in if you'd like to. There you go. On X there, dude. I sent you a fucking invite link if you want to jump in. Cappylicious has been a member for 1 month. Thank you so much, dude. I hope you're enjoying the Member Monday shows. I hope you're enjoying them, dude. So Ricochet, once again, proving that he thinks the world revolves around him. We're about to talk about Fingershay, guys. So if you're tuning in for that, it's the right time because we are about to get into that. And Tony Khan rewarding him with a main event instead of doing the right thing. And instead of doing the right thing, and damn, Death Valley on the outside. I need to tweet this out. Tony Khan rewarding. The right thing would have been Andrade Omega main event. Or no. Is there still a match with Brody King? I'm tripping. Whatever the fuck. Okay, so yeah, this isn't even the main event. So yeah, they're going overrun like half hour, I think, or something, right? Am I off on my maths there? I'm no mathematician. Okay, so JJ, where the fuck are you? Because if you have something to say on this, holla at your boy Phil. Because if you have something to say about this Scurll Hangman shit, I'll let you say it before we move on to AEW news. You just pop in if you're popping in. We can't wait around. It's getting late over. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for AEW news, of course, featuring none other than Fingershay this week. And
the best guys, Tony Khan.
And of course, let's all together Ichi ni Sanda for AEW news. So Ricochet, man, he has been really embarrassing himself lately by, doing all this fucking sweeping for AEW. And he had a complete and utter meltdown. And Drainmaker's like, oh, he's dropping bombs today. And it's really just cringe. And the only time people talk about Ricochet is when he's talking about WWE. It's the only time any people talk about AEW, really. And also, this is entitlement, and I'm about to explain why. Entitlement stems from getting shit that isn't earned. And aside from Dave Meltzer fucking stars and the paycheck Tony Khan gave you, because he's a mark for two things: Meltzer stars and people who used to be in WWE. You got this huge paycheck. And here's my biggest problem too, when everybody goes, oh, but the wrestlers get paid. Here's the thing. WWE, it's justified because this is like a global entity. You can justify saying we demand $3 million a year. Even if Becky Lynch goes out into the world, is she going to do a 3 million gate, or is she going to do 3 million worth in revenue just herself that year? Possibly in a WWE setting where you're a global fucking enterprise, not out on the indies, she's not gonna, but it's like you're a global thing, toys, reality shows, lunch boxes, fucking blah, 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 blah. I don't know if kids use lunch boxes anymore, but all of these things, t-shirts, all of this stuff. Yeah, you're going to recoup your investment on her. And she's also a part of these bigger deals that are greater than fucking 80 billion for the Rumble and 800 million bagillion for the fucking whatever. For the Netflix deal and blah, 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 blah. Now, that shit matters if you're wheeling and dealing and doing deals like that. Tone's just overpaying people because Ricochet is making more money than he'd ever draw anywhere ever. And look at AEW. They're not this global enterprise fucking thing. And their attendances aren't that great and all of these things. Like, you know, NXT, TNA can draw similar numbers of people. So you become entitled when you're given shit that you haven't earned. And Ricochet never earned the main event spot in WWE. Okay. He only got his spot in NXT Black and Gold because people are like, Lucha Underground. Well, Lucha Underground got fucking laughed out of existence in that era for the most part. Okay. And then they fucked a bunch of people over on contracts, and it was a fucking TV show. It was a TV show. Okay. That audience who came in there, it was all pre-recorded and shit. And I'm not shitting on those crowds were hot and shit for Lucha Underground, but when they filmed the matches and stuff. But let's be real here, dude. It's getting filled no matter what. It's not like he's drawn as Prince Puma. No one fucking calls him that anymore. He hasn't been Prince Puma in years. Okay. Dave Meltzer gave him all these fucking stars. And so Tone appreciates this guy, but he's booked the same way. He's just a mid-level guy in AEW. But he does this bootlicking shit, and Tony rewards him. That's totally fine. It's just cringe as fuck to be so ungrateful for WWE. When if Ricochet went from what he was doing before to AEW, people would give 10 times less fucks. You met your wife in WWE. Are you ungrateful for your wife? No, but I didn't say that. No, but you are saying that because you're saying WWE just wasted years of my life, or did it give you hundreds of thousands of dollars? And let people know who the fuck you and your wife are on a bigger scale. Did you get most of your followers for your shit in New Japan or for being in WWE? It's all you got to ask yourself, buddy. Joining me on the show, JJ Alexander, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. So before we read these tweets, JJ, what do you make of this Ricochet spurg out over WWE here?
He's chasing clout again because he's in that irrelevancy spot again, and because he has nothing to do, no matter if he has one of the 18,000 belts they have or not. This is what he does. This is the only way he can be seen now, is by trolling on fucking Twitter and thinking that that's getting heat and he's a good heel and all that. No, it's stupid. It's juvenile indie bullshit.
And isn't it fucked up when Ricochet sees that AEW did a good rating on Collision, good quote unquote. I mean, it's a bit of a boost. TNA saw a bit of a boost too. None of you guys are freaking out about that, but when Ricochet sees Collision and Dynamite both kind of do good numbers back to back, and then you're gonna muddy it all up, like, what, Ricky? You're fucking feeling yourself so much? Is that why you did this? Because you're just feeling yourself, and you're like, let me just fucking spurg out on everyone about the Fed right now. Like, you just did a couple good ratings. Keep the momentum going in your favor. Plus, you just sully it with this shit.
Plus, it's also to detract from the Adam Page stuff right now. He's trying to get the views away from it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Thank you for bringing that up. I think it has to do with drum up shit, get the attention off of fucking, the whole Hangman situation. So moving along here, Ricochet says, same thing happens to Balor, Shinsuke, Apollo, and many others. Hold on, though. How many times did Ricochet re-sign with WWE? How
at least once.
Many years was Ricochet in WWE? 5 years on the main roster.
He re-signed a talent extension in 2022.
There you go, bro. That's not even long ago. fucking Stinky Ricky, man. Shut up, bro.
Shut up, bitch.
Fuck's sakes. That's terrible. That is fucking terrible. So he says WWE kills legacies. Bro, more people know Prince Devitt and about fucking Bullet Clubs and Finn Balor's legacy than, because of WWE. If he stayed in Nuge, no one would know about it. Bullet Club got more popular because Balor went to fucking WWE, and because AJ Styles and Anderson and Gallows were too sweeting and shit, they brought that back. It's fucking so cringe to say shit like this. Shinsuke, bro, come on, man. Shinsuke wrestled for the WWE title at Mania. Oh, he didn't win it. Who gives a fuck? I don't think he beat Brock either at the Tokyo Dome. What are you talking about? Like, his time came. He did his thing. He's revered. Shinsuke is revered. Okay.
And he's still there, and he gets to work on his terms right now.
Yeah, dude. And then you have a guy like Balor who's about to have a phenomenal, and they all re-signed multiple times, multiple extensions. Finn could have walked into fucking AEW and took all of Tone's money. Finn Balor, come on down. And so Ricochet just coping here. Goes, WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. I do feel this way, and many others do as well. That company kills the love, and you end up being a shell of who you were and going through the motions. Yeah, I would say young people who think they know better. I would say entitled fucks like you. And I would say like an ungrateful fucks. And I would also say, in the Vince era, for sure, there was that. Ricochet was there during a messy era. But what about the love for them? Like, dude, you were sticking your finger up your asshole, and then they hired you, dude. And then they gave you a fucking job when the world was looking. When did Ricochet get hired by WWE exactly?
It was like 2016, I believe.
So it was before the pandemic and all that shit, dude?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was there for a long-ass time. They kept you through the pandemic and all of these things. Zero fucking, but they also fired a bunch of people. Yeah, but they didn't fire you.
Right.
Oh, but my friend got fired. Yeah, that's the pro wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
That's Hollywood, baby. That's show business. Like, I'm sorry, but it's what they do best. It's being a shell of who you were and going through the motions. They don't. They haven't for a while. Even when I was IC and US champ, they meant nothing. I promise the U.S. title means more than your fucking international title, bud. I mean that. I'd argue El Generico has a better legacy than Sami Zayn.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
The largest crowd that El Generico ever worked in front of was like 1,300 people.
Yeah. And now look at Sammy when he goes to Saudi.
Right.
A better legacy, too. Like, what a dumb, fucking, stupid, dumb, dopey thing to say. So Ricochet goes, they took my love of pro wrestling away. I'll never forget how I felt walking into work every week, and that platform was only to make others look good at my expense. Oh my God. Do we have any sad fucking music we can play? And that platform was to only make others look good at my expense. And I told them I'd rather quit and go back to the indies and make whatever I'd make there than come back next week.
Emotional damage.
I promise Ricochet would have fucking re-signed with the Fed or just signed with TNA if AEW, like if AEW wasn't going to give you all this money, more money than WWE or whatever, then what were you going to do? It's crazy. Many discovered me at a time where my talents and legacy were being taken advantage of by a company that didn't really care about me. That's the wrong way of thinking about
For
it.
dirtbags and lily pickers.
Ricochet, many people only Lex, did you know Ricochet before? Yeah, me neither, but many people only know you because of going to WWE and the platform they gave you. However, more people have been following me since before WWE and appreciate what they know I can bring and what I can do, no longer want to watch. No, see, people are watching WWE. They're not watching AEW if you compare the two. One's way ahead, one is way behind and has been falling behind year after year after year, is down year over year over year over year over year. You're sitting here saying that some people who didn't follow you, they see what you can do. Buddy, if you just, and I'm not, do what's best for you in your career, but if he had just waited a year or two, he'd be out there having flippy matches in AAA and stuff like that, and he'd be known by an even bigger fucking, he'd be blowed up right now having matches, and he's like, well, I don't want to do that, but that's what you're doing in AEW.
Right.
Well, that's what you're doing in AEW. You're wrestling, it's smaller crowds, and when they go to Mexico, you're going to be all over that shit, and when they go to fucking Australia, you're going to be all over that shit, and WWE's doing that same thing, just in front of bigger crowds. So what are we really talking about?
He could be killing it with people like Dr. Wagner Jr. and killing it with the upstarts coming through Evolve and everything. Like, imagine what if he had stuck around working with like Sean Legacy, like, or even Javon. Like, there's things that he could have done, but he has main character syndrome where he thinks he's a bigger thing than he is, and he's not. He has a very visible ceiling that the rest of the planet can see, and the only two people that can't see it are him and his wife.
Man, and speaking of not being able to see it, like Brody King just came out and beat MJF, squashed him in 2 seconds. They wardlowed Brody King because Tony Khan has like 3 ideas.
So that's what was that an eliminator match?
Yeah, so it was an eliminator match, not a title match. It's official. I think at Revolution or no Grand Slam Australia, they are going to put Brody versus MJF, and now Andrade's out there getting in Brody's business, and it's all building up to a
three-way,
or even possibly a 4-way with some other guys.
Right.
And
so that means that
Ricochet won't, but I'll tell you who won't be in that match. Fucking Ricochet, who's out here sweeping to try and divert headlines and to try and also garner some hype, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, he's just feeling himself because these big ratings, quote unquote, that they've been having. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, no, they had one up week, and I told you, I said bookmark this. When the ratings go down this week, Meltzer's going to blame the Muppet Show. I'm telling you right now.
And so let's move along through some other news here because we have ratings talk. We're talking about ratings right now. And of course, there's a schmoz because there's always a schmoz. Correction. While AEW Dynamite does not air on television in Saudi Arabia, you can watch it via the Paid Stars Play app. Thanks to everyone who passed that along, which had 2.3 million subscribers as of December 24. So if you're Dave, you're like, oh, 1 million people watching on the fucking whatever app in Saudi Arabia, Brian. We also have, what else do we have here? Last week's episode of Dynamite garnered its lowest audience of the year so far. So this is why they had, a great rating and a big bounce back. It was the fucking bounce back from the lowest rating they've done in the year so far. And I know it's only a month in, but it's like, come on, man. And so they did 400, and we'll just round it up, 500K viewers. And the prior week, they were down 5% from the prior week. Who gives a fuck? The show is hot. You're hot, then you're cold. This week, we'll see what they do with that shock overrun. I guess they didn't have the 15, 30 minutes or whatever to do the goddamn overrun. But Collision scored its best audience for its regular time slot since last April for this past Saturday's episode. Collision averaged 492K viewers, up 94%. They like fucking 100%ed almost their previous thing. What do you make of that? Their previous rating. What do you make of that, dude?
It was a fluke.
It was a fluke, but like it's not because he stacked up the card or any people are saying that he stacked up the card. I think tonight he tried to do that too, like Andrade Omega, like that's a kind of big match, and they've been building up to it by having Omega and Andrade involved with the title and all of that.
Nah, it was a fluke week. There was no big sporting event happening, and there might have been word like people may have tuned in, like the internet may have tuned in when Ciampa showed up and stuck around for 2 segments.
Fair enough. And then, like, was he even there this week? That's the thing. He cut a promo in the back.
No, he won the title on fucking Collision. And like new TNT champion, that's supposed to be the secondary belt in the company, and now he's nowhere to be found.
Oh boy. And so the key demo at a 0.07 was up 250%. Like, what the fuck? How bad is that rating? It's a 0.07. But
Right.
Good that they doubled up their shit, but like, how? Why? I don't know. These are still abysmal ratings year over year. And people want to say that doesn't matter, but it does matter because there's zero indication anywhere else that they've increased their ratings in any other capacity.
Right. They're celebrating 600 and change. Like that's you shouldn't be celebrating that.
And again, the week before it did its all-time lowest 18 to 49 rating. So it increased by 250% after doing its all-time lowest.
Right.
So you can't celebrate that. You're like, yeah, it was a good bounce back from the last shitty week. You know? So Collision scored a 0.02 in the key demo. Ooh, the lowest in show history for numbers that were made available.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. And Collision averaged 253K viewers per Spoiler TV via WrestleNomics. So now with Nielsen, everybody's just scrambling to figure out the ratings. Again, I told you guys this rating shit was going to get kind of boring and like shitty. It's fun to talk about the TNA ratings compared to these ones. I think a little bit more right now. WWE, they're in a league of their own. I ain't trying to hear Dave Meltzer talk about fucking, oh yeah, they're doing raw numbers and stuff. That's just a complete and utter lie.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So yeah, Collision then the next week did its best audience for its regular time slot, and we covered that. Also, we have more ratings talk here in Grand Slam Australia. So in Sydney, it'll be 2.5 hours, airing on TNT and HBO Max from 8 to 10:30, making the Collision episode 30 minutes longer than usual. And that's their Grand Slam Australia Collision, and then Godzilla versus Kong on right after. Right on. I'm on the last episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Oh, that show was so good.
Dude, it's so good. I love the Monsterverse so far. And so moving along here, I just want to see. So Triller TV had a single customer, All Elite Wrestling, a customer of Triller TV, which accounted for approximately 24% and 19% of Triller's consolidated revenue, respectively. So this thing came out about Triller and AEW. And so as of December 31, 24, Triller had one customer that comprised approximately 20% of consolidated accounts receivable. As of December 31, 23, Triller had one customer that comprised over 27% of their consolidated accounts receivable during this year ended December 31 and 23. This is written by
They had 4 viewers.
Triller had a single customer, AEW, which accounted for 24 and 19% of Triller's consolidated revenue both years. Yeah, Triller like went out of biz and was garbage. So that's how little amount of people were watching through Triller is the thing. So both years, I think what this means is in 24 and 23, 24 and 19%, a quarter of their business was AEW. And yeah, That is disappointing to say the least.
They owe me money.
Yeah, Dynamite rating, they did a 653,000. That was for Andrade versus Swerve. And then, of course, Ciampa's big debut, a 0.09 in the key demo. So you just chalk that up to it was an anomaly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. So Raj Giri says, just to clear up some confusion out there, Dynamite did not average 300K viewers last week with a 0.04. That number to the left is household ratings. So now like these household ratings and Programming Insider, it's confusing people with the whole Nielsen thing and everything. So shout out Raj Giri for doing the Lord's work and keeping up with it. Yeah, so they averaged 653K viewers, up 31%, 0.09 in the key demo. And Dynamite was 16 for the night in prime time on cable, which wasn't at number one. So new Triller financial report reveals AEW's impact on their business. No, it didn't reveal the impact because they went out of fucking business or transformed into some other shit or rebranding. I forget what they did. AEW left them, but they accounted for a quarter of their business. I mean, I guess it is their impact, but you need to qualify whether it's negative or good. I would say there, Dave, you're lying by omission a little, not lying, but just omitting things that add a little bit more context. So Collision, this is January 28th, though. It scored its all-time lowest key demo rating. We covered this, and it was the lowest in show history for numbers that were made public. And again, Claudio and Roderick Strong, unfortunately, were stuck on that show. But Fight Triller TV provided some insight into the importance of AEW to their business. Through AEW Plus subscription, AEW accounted for approximately 19% of Triller's consolidation revenue in 23, $10.3 million, and then 24% in 24, which is $6.6 million. So do you believe that AEW accounted for directly $10.3 million of Triller revenue?
So is that gross or net?
This is what I'm fucking saying, man. And Triller, okay, is Triller out of business? I don't think it is.
I know they got declassified from the NASDAQ.
This is what I'm saying, man. They had some crazy shit. No, Triller is not out of business, but the company is facing significant financial and regulatory challenges. The parent company, Triller Group, was delisted from the NASDAQ stock exchange in December for failing to file required financial reports. So all of a sudden they're going, man, AEW, who left us, they fucking accounted for 10 million of our business. Or are they hiding it with the ugly redheaded stepchild you hide under the stairs like Harry fucking Potter, and they're just hiding it away over there and fucking with not revealing real financial shit, and this is just a goddamn lie, and they were just able to mark Tone in because he's a fucking money mark, and they were taking more money from him probably than
that's what I'm wondering is that 10.3 million, is that gross earnings from the pay-per-views, or is that the rights fee that AEW paid to be listed on there? Because that's where you had to go to get the AEW pay-per-views if you weren't going through your cable provider, was Triller, before they decided to start doing Prime and Bleacher Report and everything. Well, you could do Bleacher Report, but Triller was for people that didn't use Bleacher. So that's why you have to find out if that's an amount that was coming in revenue, or if that's a rights fee that Tony was paying them.
So AEW contributed an estimated 10.3 million, accounting for about 19% of Triller's total consolidated revenue of 54.1 million. The revenue dropped to approximately 6.6 million, but this accounted for a larger share of Triller's consolidated revenue. The decline in AEW related revenue for Triller. Okay, so listen.
Okay, so it's revenue. So that's pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Buys.
And then listen to this part. The decline in AEW related revenue for Triller TV in 24 is linked to AEW expanding its digital pay-per-view options by partnering with other platforms like YouTube and pay-per-view.com.
Right.
I think people want to go Nielsen's fudging the numbers. I think Triller is for sure. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like they're
allegedly.
Sure. Well, yeah, because let me pull up my calculator for a second here, because we always have Dave lying about the amount of the amount that they sold. But let's for the sake of devil's advocate, let's say 100,000 buys.
For the young
superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So
I have a piece. So that would mean that if they were doing 100K buys all on Triller, which we know they weren't, that would be $1.8 million per pay-per-view that AEW was providing to Triller. So if you extrapolate that and you do the 1.8 million times 12, technically that would be $21 million they would be providing to Triller in a calendar year.
But then, what do they take from that and stuff?
Well, that's why it says consolidated. So I'm guessing that's gross, not
it's-
net. I'm guessing that they're saying that's gross, not net. So for the sake of argument, let's say that the vast majority of pay-per-view buys for AEW went through Triller. What we can figure out from this is that obviously Dave was lying out of his ass, and at most they were getting 50,000 buys per pay-per-view. They were getting 50,000 per pay-per-view.
Damn, through Triller. And then I think there's like other options to buy them, but yeah, Dave just
I'm saying like that was when you had to go through Triller or Bleacher Report. That was prior to them going out to YouTube and Amazon and all that stuff.
Damn, dude. So what else do we have here? I think that's all the ratings and revenue talk and all of this stuff. We have a lot to go through. So things that have just been happening in AEW on the show. Tommaso Ciampa arrived in AEW, which made headlines. He won the TNT title. He brought back the old TNT title that we saw tonight. He beat Mark Briscoe, and I think it was the right move to just slap the title on him. Fuck it. But I just don't know what it's going to really do for the company. Like, he's just going to have bangers. I'm not the biggest Ciampa fan. DIY, I don't really care about either of those guys. So
I love Tom. I've known Tom for a long time. The first match I ever called on live commentary was a Tommaso match back when he was still Thomas Penmanship. So I've known him for a really long time, and I love the guy, and I'm happy that he's getting paid. And I understand that he wanted to do something different while he's still got time left, because he's had a couple of neck surgeries, so he knows that he's on borrowed time. I'm just really, really worried for him. I'm really worried that something bad's going to happen in AEW, and I don't want something bad to happen to him because I love the guy.
Yeah,
but I don't want him to, be watching Willow grow up, from a wheelchair. I don't want him, walking, not being able to walk her down the aisle in another, decade because of some stupid fucking apron bump spot in front of a crowd of 800 people on a random ass fucking Dynamite.
Yeah, dude, and I loved Ciampa in NXT, and people always go to, he peaked in Black and Gold, and I don't even want to say that, but as far as like, who knows, maybe his peak's higher in AEW, but in NXT Black and Gold, he fucking ruled that heel turn. And when he was carrying around Goldie and he was ripping the fucking canvas off, and him and Gargano were feuding, that was awesome. When DIY was crushing it down there, having tag matches, it was more like a super indie developmental type of situation they were in, and that ruled. That was amazing. Was he in the Cruiserweight Classic? I can't remember. He was like in the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
That's how he started. He dropped weight because he was hovering around like 235, and he went on a serious regimen to drop down to that 205 just so he could do the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah, so there you go, man. He was awesome then, but on the main roster, they just kind of like put DIY together, and I was like, fuck me, and I'm down with Ciampa, like WWE signing people. Where's he gonna go? TNA or something? Just go get a bunch of money from AEW. But yeah, him personally. You don't want to see him hurt his fucking neck or something. Right. Ciampa says his decision to sign with AEW. He says, if I wrestled in the 90s, I'd want to be a part of ECW. Early 2000s, you want to be a part of Ring of Honor. I was lucky. I got to do that a little bit. 2010s, I think. For me, at least, I wanted to be part of NXT Black and Gold. And when I looked at the landscape of professional wrestling in the 2020s, the answer is AEW, man. That's what I want to be a part of. So what do you make of that?
He wants to do it. It's just, and obviously he's got friends there, and he wants to go have some fun with his friends. He wants a little bit of a lighter schedule, but I'm worried. I'm honestly worried.
Damn, well, that's not good, dude. I don't want anything to happen to him either. I didn't even think about it like that, but he does go off, man. He wrestles crazy like a motherfucker. Where was the next one I wanted to pull up here with Ciampa? Oh, yeah, so the YouTube numbers. Look at the difference in views. So John Moxley versus Ace Austin, 9 hours ago, 10K views, right? Strickland versus Andrade 8 hours ago, 64K views. Ciampa, 253K views, 9 hours. And they did a breakdown how they re-uploaded Ronda Rousey showing up in ROH, and it outdrew. It was like one of their top viewed things in AEW, and that's like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old video now. So it's pretty crazy. And whenever WWE guys come over, and then that's the little bit of hype they get, and then that's really it. And I just hope that we see the ratings increase. Or some people, I get it, want to see AEW die and shit. But I mean, what the fuck? Like, this company is just, it's been a laughing stock both online and like the characters involved. I hope it doesn't go anywhere personally. So Ciampa says, I've been told for a very long time AEW is where the best wrestlers in the world wrestler. The Psycho Killer has been here for less than 1 week, and I'm your TNT champion. How do you like them apples? And so there's him kissing his lovely wife with his child there, and he's holding this title. And I don't think it's a bad move to put the belt on him right away. I think that was actually the right move.
I mean, they kind of had to after they made Mark Briscoe look like shit with freaking clone freaking kipping up from his freaking J Driller.
Yeah, absolutely. That was stupid as fuck. I think I might have that spot. I just, speaking of spot, I spotted something that should be in Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. And I don't know if I have any more on Ciampa, but I wish him the best, and I hope he does well with all of that. In other AEW news, just to catch people up and just show people what's been going on in the show in case you've tapped out and haven't been watching, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor have been put in a tag team together. And it's funny because Dave named Alex Windsor as somebody who has been elevated since going to AEW, is further up the card or whatever.
Because she's fucking Osprey. That's the only reason.
No, but she's in ROH, and now in a fucking, she was just challenging Tony Storm. Now she's in a tag with Hayter and in ROH and shit. Like, that's not further up the card, Dave. And Brian Alvarez actually owned him with that. This feels wrong, or that's a Tony Crange. We'll go to that. But Jake Doyle tore his bicep. So he just signed to AEW. He tore his fucking bicep. What do you make of that?
The sloppy shop of AEW. Like, I can't say I'm surprised.
Why is he taking an apron DDT? And
Right.
he's not even the legal man in the match. He's not even the legal man in the match. He's taking an apron DDT.
On
This
a
ain't
random
fucking-
TV.
Yeah, this ain't 2K, buddy.
Interception, but
That was so first.
Fucked. That's cooked, man. I really hope he recovers quickly.
Torn
AEW 's-
bicep, you're looking at least 6 months.
Yeah. So AEW has filed to trademark a new tag team name, the Brawling Birds. That's got to be Hayter and Windsor, no?
Or it's Storm and Shirakawa.
No, because they're the Love Bomb Angels. or
Oh,
whatever.
that's right. So yeah,
The
so it's
time-
got to be the two
the
British
Time
chicks.
Bomb Angels, or the Timeless Love Bomb Angels, or whatever the fuck. So I don't know who that is. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a super chat here I didn't see for a while. I'm not a shark. I'm a man. For 2 says, Rick wants another digit up there. Who doesn't, though? What?
Ricochet, finger shake.
Oh,
He wants
finger
two fingers.
shake. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You just made the list.
That's funny, dude. Rico. Yeah, dude. He does, man. I don't know. I didn't watch those videos.
Me
We're
neither.
doing that on Patreon. No, just joking. That's fucked up.
Yeah, we're gonna side screen finger Shay and Tessa taking a shit.
Oh God. Oh God. So the Brawling Birds. Speaking of birds, Samantha Irvin says pairing with Ricochet will be historic. And then she's like, well, we're not teaming up in wrestling and shit. It won't be. I don't know why she doesn't understand either. You two are fucking delusional. You don't get it. If she's not in WWE, people don't care. It's going to be like when Brandy Rhodes showed up in AEW and was, or like in front of the WWE fans, they don't give a fuck, you know? And so Samantha Irvin will be essentially the same thing. She's going to come out there. People are not going to care. And I don't think it's going to get the heat they think. And they think they're being slick. Like, we know you're just going to be in AEW together and be his heel manager and cut promos healing on everyone. We already know.
And the thing is, we don't know if she can cut promos. Like, yeah, she was a ring announcer and she was a singer. It doesn't mean she can cut a promo.
That's true. She was good at acting and shit, kind of outside of the ring. Some people said she was overdoing it, but I think fucking Mark Nash rules, though. I think that guy's awesome. So moving along here, Killer Kelly has already been backstage at Dynamites after TNA exit. She is posting a lot about getting bookings, though. Maybe Tone, what do you think? Do you know Killer Kelly? And do
I've never worked with her.
Do you think she could be effective in AEW? I guess I don't know.
No. Let's be honest. No female is going to be effective in AEW.
Right, that's the problem. It sucks to say it, but in a dreamland,
she'll get that. Even in a dreamland, she's just going to get lost in the sauce. They'll throw her at they'll do some crap where they'll have Megan Bain turn on Penelope Cruz and tag with Killer Kelly instead.
Penelope Cruz. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said Penelope Cruz. I meant Penelope Ford.
Oh man, that rules. What did you just watch? Like fucking Ferrari? What movie has she been in recently? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Oh man,
I think it's because we were talking about we randomly mentioned Vanilla Sky on like a recent episode of the movie podcast I do. So that might have been what was on my brain.
Oh man. And yeah, shout out Samantha Irvin's flute playing skills though. So in other news, Samoa Joe's no contact injury is legit. He isn't out because of the third season of Twisted Metal, but they gotta be filming that soon. They gotta be starting it soon. Maybe they're in pre-production right now, but hopefully he heals up and is good. Like, I'm not saying he's doing it right now. We know there'd be fucking reports on it, but it's gotta be soon, which is not in production currently. Yeah, so pre-production. Samoa Joe, though, killing it, and hopefully he's okay, man. Drops the title, dips out. I don't know. Ricochet was talking shit. We covered that already. Andrade El Idolo said he'd like to retire in AEW. I'm sure you fucking would.
Go ahead.
Buddy. I'm sure Andrade, him and Tone get along
the
just
best guys, Tony Khan.
Dan. You know what I'm saying, dude? I think they get along just fine. Propane. No, I'm just joking. But Andrade says, I would like to retire here. I'm not. I love Andrade. I think he looks great, and he's been looking great. It's great. He looks awesome in this AEW run so far. I think it's gangster. He beat Kenny Omega, and I think it's gangster. He glommed him, still well under WWE contract. And I like that they put the ladies, even though they're plants, whatever, they're hamming it up. He's a ladies' man, because that's what he is behind the fucking scenes, okay? In case you guys, if you don't know, now you know. But he says, I'm here to contribute to the company, and I'm here to become one of the greats of AEW. Hey, I believe it. Shout him out. And I'm on the El Idolo train. And I think him and Kenny had a pretty good match tonight. Although I do kind of want to go back and rewatch it. I was locked in going off on motherfuckers, but I will do that. And I'm sure my idea of it will remain the same. Speaking of like legends, though, and people floating around and doing their thing, Big Show, he's currently 393 pounds. He's shooting for 360. Thank you to everyone that supported me over the years. Damn, dude, he's shredded. Well, like shreddy as you can be for a big ass motherfucker like that at this age. He looks amazing. He's trying to bulk up. It would be awesome if Tone said, Paul White's the commissioner, and what you do is, okay, you have a couple jobbers. He could one punch KO them. You don't have him like one punch KO anyone like a top guy, but you let everyone know that he's a commissioner that doesn't fuck around, and he'll just one punch KO you or choke slam you if you cross the fucking line or whatever, and he's there to keep things in order and all of this stuff. They could have did that at the peak of the Moxley shit, and they didn't do it. And shout out Big Show. I'm glad he's healthy. I fucking am happy when anybody gets healthy, so good on him. Moving along here, Edge, who's also in the gym, ranking and clanking. Adam Copeland, aka Edge. He says he feels he got his dream career twice, and I got to do it the first time. I had to retire for 9 years and then get it back again. So let's listen to Edge.
Hey, everybody.
Who blocked me, by the way.
So I didn't realize that today.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Hey.
So I didn't realize that today.
6 years to the day
6 years
since
to
I
the day that I've been wrestling in All Elite Wrestling, and
came back to the Royal Rumble. And, for me, every second after that first You Think You Know Me at the Rumble in Houston. Yeah, Houston. It's been a success, man. You know the story. I wasn't supposed to do this, yet here we are 6 years later. If you had told me 6 years ago that I'd be still doing this after 6 years, I would have thought you're a little crazy. But man, I've been so lucky. I feel like I got my dream career twice. I got to do it the first time, had to retire for 9 years, and then get it back again. That's.
Oh, I thought he was going to say being in fucking Hollywood on that Disney show. Getting an acting.
Good stuff. But I'm also a realist, and I know I'm coming close to the end here. So hopefully you've enjoyed this ride. If you haven't, whatever.
Why did Beth Phoenix not return for a full? Do you think it's because Tone begged them to let her do a one-off and just paid them a shitload of money?
Tony Khan.
Oh, absolutely.
May or may not have heard. Yeah. I may or may not have heard something along those lines, but yeah. Do him and Beth show back up in the Fed? Yes or no?
Nope.
No? Wow. They just ride off into the sunset with their Tony Khan bucks.
Yeah, until they induct Beth into the Hall of Fame in like 5 years.
Yeah, Edge made fucking he made bank in AEW, and he didn't really do much. Breaking his leg was the sacrifice for that.
And if you have, great. A little bit more to go. So, yeah, thank you. Thanks for reminding me. And, just reflecting. And with everything that
I think, I don't know. I think we'll see him in WWE. Do like a money match, and did he have Saudi matches before he retired? He was in Saudi.
No.
Did he not do any?
I don't believe he did any Saudi matches.
Let's look it up. Has Edge ever wrestled for WWE in Saudi Arabia? Because even if it's one or two, like those are huge paydays.
Right, but I don't recall him doing any.
Yeah, he had a match with Rollins in Saudi.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to wrestle, or no, WWE wanted him to wrestle there. Yeah, he wrestled one match. So that's a huge, massive fucking payday. And then maybe you get on Unreal. And then that's like, I'm sure you get paid a bit per episode. I'm not sure how that's worked out, but like the TV, you get paid a little bit. It's a TV credit for him as well. He gets, he does this thing. He's in a reality show with his wife or some shit. Maybe he gets a net because he's trying to get acting, right? And he's with Disney Plus on that Percy Jackson show, but maybe he wants to try and like, hey, over here they're putting fucking people in Netflix shows and da-da-da-da. I could totally see him being like, yeah, I'm fucking going. And where's Christian been at? You can't see a Edge Christian one last fucking hurrah in WWE. It's so funny how Tone could have done all of that and had them win the tag titles and then do a story where they fucking drop them and then really put someone over and all this shit. Could have done all of that, and instead, no. People just come and go as they fucking please and do whatever the fuck they want realistically. Speaking of which, let's take a look here. AJ Styles was the topic of discussion. How long have we been going a long ass time here? Let's talk about this quick. So AJ Styles was a big topic of conversation at AEW last week. Nobody seems to know his official status, but if he becomes available, everybody spoken to in AEW believes he will be approached by them. That's courtesy of Fightful. So AJ Styles was a big topic of conversation. We covered that. And there was one other thing in here, just to add context, that I want your take on this. AEW is expected to make AJ Styles an offer. Should they be able to do so? It's like, what does that fucking mean even? Either they are or they aren't. Either he's retired or he's not. However, as of right now, they have not made an offer to AJ.
They won't.
There's like one more fucking thing with AJ in it. And I just want your
AJ
take
was
on...
in Stanford this morning.
He was in Stanford this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, doing what though?
I think he was there to film the Stephanie podcast.
Wow. I'm curious because apparently Triple H was there, like, we offered him a role in The Office and all this, and
which I think is what he's been talking about.
Yeah, and they're like, we expected him to stay longer, like the rest of this year. But I've always gotten the impression, and again, AJ Styles, someone you shared locker rooms with. AJ Styles is somebody who do you feel, let me ask you this, do you feel he's a guy who, if he says when he's done, he's fucking done? Like, if he says he's going to be done, do you think he's done, or do you think he'll show up in AEW Nuge, something like that?
I don't think he's done. I think that's why he did the whole take off the gloves to put them back on in Saudi. I think they're going to do some bullshit technicality nonsense where he shows up for a short run in TNA to help get Mike Santana over as the new face of the company.
Wow. I was thinking about this. Think about Gunther. He fucking beat Cena, who's like one of the WWE goats. AJ Styles, who's one of the TNA goats. Goldberg, who's one of the WCW goats.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Gunther's ruling. So Tony Khan, this is the last thing. Guys, we'll do the tone video on the next show. It's getting late. Yes, we will do that on the next live stream. Tomorrow's Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. Time Cop. Right now, though, Tony Khan was asked about what AJ Styles means to professional wrestling, and he says, I'm a huge fan of AJ Styles. I think he's incredible. Some would say phenomenal. No, I added that. He's had great matches all over the world. He did some incredible things in ROH that are a part of our library, and also with our partners at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was involved in some of the all-time greatest matches. His match with Minoru Suzuki is one of my all-time favorites, and he's had great matches with multiple companies all over the world. He's never been in AEW before, but certainly with a lot of promotions we work with, and of course in ROH, he has a great history. Yes, none of which belong to you, Tone.
Right.
Shit that you weren't a part of, bud. He's one of my all-time favorites. Just personally, in my opinion, I think he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. So I have only the highest praise for AJ Styles. Now that makes me think he's going to roll out the fucking ring. Like, what do you think, dude? He's not going to.
He may try, but I think he's going to get. I think he's going to get a freaking letter from some lawyers saying you can't talk to him.
Damn. So you think AJ just takes the coaching job and we don't see, or maybe like a little TNA run just to give back to TNA, and then maybe they pay him while he's also getting paid by WWE? Like, I'm sure they'd work some shit out like that.
I think I honestly think it's a WWE contract extension, and they put him on loan to TNA so that TNA is not like trying to, he's not double dipping. It'll be a make good for something later on. You just going on with the relationship there, but it may just be to help, you stick AJ Styles over on TNA and you give him a couple of matches here and there where he says, like, I said I would retire from WWE, but I'm still not done. And I still said I want to be world champion before the end of the year. And you put him, you put him in a couple of matches on Impact and do a pay-per-view blow off with him and Mike Santana. And that'll get the numbers up for Impact on Thursday nights on AMC. And if he is able to substantiate that and Impact starts doing like 200 to 250K, then that leaves them in a better place. It helps the relationship keep going further, because I know some people are souring on the NXT TNA relationship. So maybe it needs that influx of a main roster player to give people a reason to tune in.
So if you think Tone goes 3 million, like, okay, let's just say this is what Tone offers people. 3 million, 3 years, one of the last year's an option, 3 million per AJ Styles come in. Do you think he would just take that over and just sign for 2 years with a 1-year option?
Nope.
You don't think he would take that? Like, he's made his money, he's done his shit.
He's made his money, and the fact is, he knows, like,
the best guy is Tony Khan.
As much as I don't like the guy, he knows like what his limitations are, and he knows that his knees are not going to last past this year. So
yeah,
He's like I said, if he decides to do this little short TNA run, it's going to be a handful of matches tops. It's not going to be week in and week out from, Mania season through to, Christmas. It's going to be a few appearances, maybe 2 to 4 matches tops.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. Thank you for tuning in. And that was PWT live show.
Oh, so you don't want me to talk about Scurll?
Were you going to cut a promo on Scurll or what?
Well, no, like you just said, you wanted the history of it, so I can give you the Reader's Digest right now of the reason.
Do it. Let's hear the Reader's Digest of Marty Scurll right now.
So I was paying big attention when Speaking Out happened, when the Speaking Out movement hit. I was paying major attention. Why? Because I was a promoter, and if there's females or female talents or females saying these talents are scum, I need to fucking keep that in the fucking mental Rolodex. So I paid close attention to all of that as it was. Prior to that, I was calling out pests on the old Full Circle Radio on the segment called Behind the Black Ball. I didn't care because what are you going to do to me? Anyways, so this girl came out and gave her story about Marty Scurll. And the problem was Marty Scurll didn't deny it. Right off the bat, he was like, yeah, we were both he said, yeah, we were both drunk. And this is the problem is he constantly changed his story. This girl said, I was drunk and Marty Scurll took advantage of me after a wrestling show on such and such a date in the UK. And Marty admitted, he was like, yeah, we were both drunk, but we were both consenting adults. And the thing was, she said, I was 16 at the time. And he said, oh, well, we were in a bar, so I thought she was 18 because that's the legal drinking age. So I just figured she was. Then it came out, guess what? No, Marty was one of her trainers. The reason she came out was because she was a wrestling student. She was in the business. That people in Speaking Out were in the business. So she was like, he was one of my trainers. He knew how old I was. And just take the age and put it to the side for a moment. And I covered this on White Heat Redux last week. If you just take the age out of it, she was borderline blackout drunk. So it doesn't matter if she was 16 or 60. If she's impaired, she can't give consent.
Well, she's blacked out drunk. Yes, I agree with that. If you're a youngster out there, you go party, you get lit, you go bang people. I mean, that's what young people do and stuff. But again, like that's just that's someone he's fucking training. Like that's someone you should be kind of taking.
He was training.
I just watched Kill Bill. It's very
right.
It's very Kill Bill-ish. Yeah.
Right. At the time, he was almost twice her age. That's the other thing.
That's gross, man.
She was 16 and he was 30. Like, no. And so
and again, I'm not one of these guys like when you see an older fucking actress or like an actor and then they date younger and shit. I'm not like, oh, at that either. Like if you're 30 and you're married to some 60-year-old, I mean, you're all fucking adults. You have agency. But there's a reason there's an age where everybody goes, you have agency now. And that's typically 18 to 21, depending what part of the world you're in. 16 and 17 is not 18 or 21. That's all I'll say. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. But so that was the issue, was his story changed multiple times right from the jump. He admitted to it, but he kept changing the reasoning of it. And at that point, people were like, no, this is wrong. So it came out that he knew how old she was. He knew that she was very drunk, and he still took advantage of her. And that's the bottom line. And since then, he was rightfully blackballed from working for most places. There's still shitty indie feds that bring him in. And like
I've seen it. Yeah.
He just worked on one in Atlanta like a month or so ago with freaking what's his name? Brian Idol from freaking NWA was on the same show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which, dude, he's trash too, but that's a story for another day. Oh, dude, I got stories. But anyways, so that's the whole thing was Marty Scurll admitted to what he did. And that's why people are like, well, why didn't she go to the police? Blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people don't seem to realize that when a girl gets violated, sometimes they can't go to the police because they're in a state of fear. And then there's times where they do go to the police and literally like they'll do the grape kit and it'll sit on a shelf forever. There's a documentary you can find. I believe it's on Netflix. It's called I Am Evidence. And it's literally about all of these SA victims who have gone, reported this stuff, done the kit, and the kit just sits on a shelf for years.
That's cooked, man.
Right.
That's
so
not good.
anyone that's like, why didn't they go to the police? It 9 out of 10 times, unfortunately, because the way things are, you can go to the police and it's still not gonna amount to anything. But there's other times where people, they get violated, and it's, they're too afraid to go. I'm looking at your chat right now, and they said, I think we need a new show or segment, story time with JJ. That was basically what I used to do on radio.
Yeah, dude. And over on fucking Patreon as well, when we're watching Tough Enough, this guy's got stories for days about all these motherfuckers.
But
in the area and stuff. But anyways.
But yeah, so that's a Reader's Digest. Bottom line, Marty Scurll is guilty. He admitted to it. He's rightfully been blackballed.
According to JJ Alexander of Full Circle Radio.
Yes, according to Joseph J. Alexander, because what the fuck are you going to do to me? Seriously.
And Phil Mark does not, PWT does not reflect the, no. Listen, all I got to say is thank you for that context. Thank you for giving the audience, everyone, round of applause to JJ of Full Circle Radio Network and at JJ_Alexander.
Right. And you can go to the Full Circle Radio channel, which is the one in the chat right now. And
he's going to drop it in the chat.
Yeah, I just wrote, hi, it's me. Go to Full Circle Radio. Literally the last episode of White Heat I did last week, the episode of White Heat Redux. It's called White Heat Redux. No, it's not okay. It is literally an entire episode on just this subject. I break it down beat by beat for 35 minutes.
And you just got the people listening at home bonus PWT. So round of applause for JJ. Guys, I really appreciate you guys so much for being here. We've had some great turnouts. What can I say? Just check out Patreon, guys. I really implore you. I put a bonus episode of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week up there. We go through his best friends. Shout out to my friend here, JJ. Appreciate you, all of my friends, the PWT universe. And yeah, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Like, don't be creeps. Take care. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Drink lots of water. I'll see you guys for Sicko Saturday. But first, I'll see you tomorrow, Time Cop, for Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. And yeah, just be good, guys. Peace.
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.